That's right, capitalistic propaganda. There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism. There's nothing funny about
Well,
the
good
tools
job,
of capitalism.
Excessive. You're banned now. Thanks, you fucking asshole. Jesus Christ. It doesn't work, though. It's still not showing gift subs. So no, it doesn't work. So Holiday, thanks for gifting a tier 1 sub. Hold on, I gotta fix the window capture thing. Why won't the window capture work now? Great. There we go.
Girl in the background said, "This is why I don't ever go out." I gotta tell you, it's why I quit going out a long time ago.
Yeah,
There's a
I
lot of
got it.
crazy
I
and a
get
lot of
F4
nonsense
closes
out in
current
this
window.
world.
I didn't know that prior.
There's nothing
Jesus
funny
loves
about the
you.
tools of capitalism.
So do I.
So Holiday, thank you for gifting. Oh, 5 tier 1 subs. Appreciate that. See, weirdly, 2 of the subs that were gifted show up in my feed, but not all 5.
Nothing funny
Like,
about
what the
tools of
hell?
capitalism.
Streamlabs is just all kinds of fuckered. I don't know. Okay, wheel.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Sovereign Citizen.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Dr. Gamble, thanks for 20 bits. Next, you'll be told to delete Windows 32 to make your PC go faster. Yeah.
Blessing, sir.
Can I have your
Nothing
first and last
funny
name?
about the
Yes, I'm here by special appearance, sui juris, Kevin Ladewig.
Can you spell your last name?
Ladewig.
Okay, here we go.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
The Distant Red, thank you for following.
Oh, you called my office, didn't you? Okay. So, but we, for the record, we didn't talk. We haven't spoken, right? Because it's not appropriate for me to do that. Okay. So this is TOW 822.
That's right, capitalistic propaganda.
Let's see. Okay.
May I ask one thing for the record?
I'm sorry?
May I ask one thing for the record?
Sure.
Are you on oath? Do you have a constitutional oath?
Do I have a constitutional oath? Well, yes, I took an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States, and
The thing sovereign citizens don't get, I think, is that the constitutional oath is to uphold the Constitution, but it doesn't mean that, like, Supreme Court decisions and laws that came after the Constitution don't also count. The Constitution not only lays out your rights, but it also lays out the ability for the legislature to make new laws and for the judicial branch to interpret those laws and interpret the Constitution. So when you take an oath to the Constitution, it doesn't literally mean you're taking an oath to a piece of paper as much as it means I am going to uphold the interpretation of the Constitution as it has been upheld by the powers outlined within the Constitution. So it's like they think, well, you can't do anything that it doesn't exactly say in the Constitution because you have an oath to the Constitution. Yeah, they do, but that also means, like, in the Constitution, when legislatures make laws in regard to, like, I don't know, traffic tickets or needing to have a driver's license, these things are still constitutional. They're still upholding the Constitution because they're upholding the right of the legislature to make laws, which is outlined in the Constitution. I think these people, this is one of many things that they don't really understand. The distant, oh no, I already did that one. Flower Girl 13, thank you for gifting a sub. And none of them, like, show up. What is wrong with the alert box? I don't know if I gotta update Streamlabs or what. But, like, I gotta deal with it somehow.
In the state of Illinois.
Excellent.
I'm a practicing attorney, so, yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent.
So this is, all right, let me take a look here. So the underlying alleged charges are driving while license suspended, possession of cannabis less than 10 grams, speeding is not a basis for the tow, we've got no insurance, and then driving with expired license plates. And so this allegedly occurred back on August.
Do you need a capture card to stream if you're not streaming console games? I don't think so. Like, I could stream a game, and I could just use Streamlabs to do that.
August the 10th of this year. So you're contesting the validity of the tow?
Yes.
Okay. So what would you like to tell me?
All right. Please let me finish. All right.
Well, as long as you're relevant to the proceedings, I'm happy to let you.
Very relevant.
Thank
Very
you,
relevant, sir. Supreme Court decisions are considered
Are we
the law of the
unbanning
land
excessive?
in regards to
I
constitutionally
don't know.
protected rights, and they cannot
I'm
be
mad.
interpreted or reinterpreted as they are stare decisis.
Ask me again in like 20 minutes. I don't know.
Prescribed as law. 1. Federal law and Supreme Court cases apply to state court cases. Howell versus Rose. 496 U.S. 356, 1990. No state shall convert a liberty into a privilege, license it, and attach a fee to it. Murdoch versus Penn, 319 U.S. 105. If the state converts a liberty into a privilege, the citizen can engage in the right with impunity. Shuttlesworth versus Birmingham, 373. U.S. 262. Operation of a motor vehicle
Thanks.
upon public streets and highways is not a mere privilege, but is a right or
Unban excessive, but like that's 2 strikes. Like, fuck that shit. Come on. I'm in the middle of a stream and you're gonna, like, I get it. It's like a meme. I understand. But like, now my stream for YouTube's fucked up and it's just a whole thing. That's not cool.
for liberty protected by the
And I'm already frustrated at Streamlabs. Like, come on.
guarantees of federal and
A Rickroll's one thing. That's just like a joke and we can all be like, ah ha ha ha. But like, fucking up the stream, come on. Dick move.
state constitutions. Adams versus City of Pocatello, 416 P2D 46. The right to travel on the public highway is a constitutional right. Tech lines
Oh, we have a new emote, by the way, if you didn't check it out. We have a traveling emote. So if that comes up, feel free to use the traveling emote.
versus Danford, Mississippi, 12 SO 2D 784 787. Anything that is a right cannot be
It's
subject
fine,
to
excessive.
conditions or licensing. Lane versus
It's a whole
Wilson,
thing.
307
It's not necessarily your fault.
268 275. Every state law must conform in the first place to the Constitution of the United States and then to the subordinate constitution of the particular state, and if it infringes upon the provisions of either, it is so far void. Houston versus Moore, 18 U.S. 1, 5 LED 19. And the Constitution itself is in every sense a law. Carter versus Carter Coal Company, 298 U.S. 140, 296. 1935.
Sounded like someone
No
had
sanction
like
can
a
be imposed
GPS
absent
system going in the
proof of
background.
Jurisdiction standard versus Olson 74. SCT 768 with no injured party. A complaint is invalid on its face. Gibson versus Boyle 139 Arizona 512. The right of a citizen to travel upon the public highway and to transport his property thereon in the ordinary course of life and business is a common right which he has under his right to enjoy life and liberty.
Travel. You can travel, but you cannot drive an automobile on public roads if you don't have a license.
To acquire and possess property and to pursue happiness and safety It includes the right in doing so to use the ordinary and usual conveyances of the day, and under the existing modes of travel include the right to drive a horse-drawn carriage or wagon thereof, or to operate
There's nothing funny
an
about the
automobile
tools of capitalism.
thereon
Dr. Gamble, thanks for
for
gifting a
the
sub.
usual and ordinary purposes of life and business. It is not a mere
See, like, that
privilege,
one showed up on the alert
privilege of
box.
moving a
Very
house in
weird.
the street,
I don't know
operating
what
a business
Streamlabs issue
stand
is.
in the street, or transporting persons or property for hire along the street, which a city may permit or prohibit at will. Thompson versus Smith, 154, SE 579 at 583. Therefore, Federal Code Law, Title 42, Section 666, which indicates that we can't buy, sell, travel, trade, or work without a Social Security number, is seemingly in direct violation of the Supreme Court decisions which invalidate Title 42, Section 666. It is unconstitutional to require one to have a Social Security number and driver's license.
Okay, but if you think that, then you need to sue, like, and I guess supposedly, if you wanted to make that your case, for one thing, this guy's representing himself pro se, redundant. He's representing pro se, which is a bad idea in the first place, and you shouldn't try and, like, win some legal precedent when you're representing yourself and you don't have a law degree. But, like, if you wanted to make the argument that because Social Security numbers are needed to get most jobs, that is some sort of encumbrance upon you, despite the fact that in the United States, if you're a natural-born citizen, you can get a Social Security number very easily, but you could maybe make the argument, I don't know if there's case law out there that says, one way or another, the constitutionality of requiring a Social Security number. Because originally Social Security numbers weren't meant for identification. You might even see on your card it says, like, not for identification purposes. Despite that fact, because it's convenient and because it makes sense and everyone has an individual unique Social Security number, they have been used for identification purposes for a very long time. What's up? One sec, everyone.
To travel. Criminal and statutory jurisdiction. All persons are presumed to know the law. If any person acts under any unconstitutional statute, he does so at his own peril. He must take the consequences. 16 AM, Jur. 177, 1781. Person is not criminally responsible unless criminal intent accompanies wrongful act. Gasho versus U.S. 39F,
nothing funny about the
3D,
tools of
1420,
capitalism.
9th Circuit,
My top is
1994.
dope, thank you.
If an
Baja got
administrative
it for
officer
me.
or agency acts
I
outside
don't know
the
if I'm a big
scope of its
fan of
authority
it.
or
Floral
jurisdiction,
print, I'm very
it acts
iffy on. It
as-
very much depends
its
upon the
acts
print. I don't know
are
how I
null
feel
and
about this,
void.
and the sleeves are
Doolin
also kind of
versus
weird.
Carr, 125 U.S. 618. When federal officials perpetrate constitutional torts, they do so ultra vires and lose the shield of
The funny thing is here, he
immunity.
also just mentioned
Williams versus U.S.
a
Department of
specific court
Agricultural
case where they're
in
talking
15
about, like, criminal
F
intent is necessary, and he's saying that
2D
as if it applies to
DCC
all cases, when I'd imagine within that case, criminal intent is necessary to prove the specific charges that were brought against the person in that case. Every single crime, every single thing you can be charged with does not require the bar of criminal intent, right? There are things that do. If you're being charged with first-degree murder, you obviously need criminal intent. Not only intent, but, like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Basically, you have to plan it. You have to be like, I'm going to murder someone, and here's how I'm going to do it. Premeditation, that's the word I'm thinking of. or like a robbery, or I don't know. But there are plenty of like things you can be charged with that do not require criminal intent. Traffic laws being, you know, one of them. If you're going something higher, as an example, like manslaughter doesn't necessarily require criminal intent. Like negligence in and of itself in certain circumstances when the burden is on you to provide safe environments for your workers or something, that doesn't require criminal intent. You can still be held liable if you do something negligently. It's weird to me that he quoted that out of context as if it applies to every single case exactly the same way when it does not. This is why you get a lawyer, folks. Get a lawyer. Never represent pro se. It's never a good idea. Even if you were a lawyer, it would be a bad idea to represent yourself.
Security and liberty alike demand that government officials shall be subject to the rules of conduct that are commands to the citizens. U.S. versus Olmstead, 277, U.S. 438, 1928, remedy. The Constitution provisions that no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law.
Without due process of law, that's the important part in there. If your car was like towed or something because you didn't have insurance or whatever, it's fine. I mean, it sucks. I get that sucks, but they can do that, right? They can impound your car during an investigation if you're found to have no insurance. That's pretty cut and dry, right? And certainly you can try and take that to court and try and get your, like, car back, your property back. I agree that's, like, part of it. But they have the right in the moment during that investigation, if they show that you have no insurance or license plate, like a lot of these sovereign citizen individuals don't, then they can take your car. Like, it's pretty simple.
Nor private property taken for public use without compensation.
No one took your private property for public use unless they impounded your car and then the police like rent it out to I don't even know. It said for public use, so it'd have to be like, oh, we have a public transit system in our county, but really it's just like people getting to use the impounded cars of people whose cars get taken in by the police. You just have to, I don't know, it's like Uber, but instead of that, it's just like the cars of people who had their cars taken away. Unless that's the specific situation he's talking about, which doesn't exist in the United States, then that doesn't apply at all.
In its dealings with the citizens and relates to that class of rights whose protection is peculiar within the province of the judicial branch of government, and that the courts are bound to give remedy for unlawful invasion of rights of property by officers of any breach of government. United States versus Lee, 106, U.S. 196, 1882. I also would like to stand on the Fifth Amendment.
Okay. So by saying that, you're indicating to me you won't answer any of my questions, which you don't have to.
That is not what I'm indicating. I'm indicating that I have to be compensated for property that has been seized.
All right. So you did submit a written motion or
yes,
brief
yes.
to the Village of Lombard.
I did.
I've read that. It's part of the packet here. I've reviewed the police report and some various other documents.
I've got video on it also.
I'm sorry?
I've got video on it also.
Okay.
And then they did claim in the inventory report, they defamed my character by claiming that I'm a sovereign citizen, which is basically a known establishment for terrorism.
Spends the first 8 minutes rattling off random sovereign citizen BS. By the way, my character has been defamed. You've called me a sovereign citizen. Well, then maybe stop doing sovereign citizen stuff. That'd be great.
So, by doing that, defaming my character on that, and defaming my legal documents, which are actually Supreme Court cites. So.
Right, yeah, and I've examined what you provided to the village.
I do have more if you would like.
I'm sorry?
I do have more if you would like.
Okay. No, at this point I'm very comfortable with your position, and I respect that.
Thank you, sir.
So, looking at the records provided to me, it does appear that on the date of the alleged violation, you didn't have a valid driver's license. Is that correct?
In the state of Illinois, don't need a driver's license.
Okay.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, because I'm showing that you didn't have a valid license. I also see that your plates were expired. Were your plates expired?
I'm on a contract with the Secretary of State in the Department of Motor Vehicle.
Okay.
So yes,
Your license plates are not a contract with the Secretary of State. Your license plates are for identification of your vehicle and to make sure that it is registered with the state. There are very good reasons that we have registrations in the United States and most places in the world for vehicles, at least most, like, developed economies. The reason you have it is because vehicles are easily stolen. They're stolen all the time. They get sent to, like, different places, whatever. The thing on the back helps track the vehicles, and that license plate is also tied to your VIN number. Your VIN number is your vehicle identification number. Your VIN number is on not only one part of your car, but on many parts. So even if your car gets taken to, like, a chop shop or something, they can track the parts if they find them, you know, after they get stolen or whatever, and figure out who stole what car. So, like, registration of your vehicle is necessary in a modern society. It's not there for willy-nilly reasons. It's not there so you sign a contract with the Secretary of State or the DMV if you're in, like, California in order to, like, get authority over you. The state already has authority over you. If you're driving your car on public roads, they already have authority over what you can drive on their roads and what you need to do in order to drive your car on their roads, including the licensing and the registration. Like, it seems intuitive to me, right? Like, of course you're gonna want to have licenses and stuff on cars and ways to easily identify them.
excludes myself from all the contracts.
Okay.
UCC 1308 without prejudice.
Okay. All right. So because what I'm seeing from the record indicates that the plates were expired, and both of those are bases for towing of the vehicle.
It's not
and there's
commercial.
possession of the cannabis.
It's not a commercial vehicle.
Okay. Thank you. Did you also have cannabis on your person?
I did.
Okay. I appreciate your candor. I do. You know, speeding isn't a concern for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so as I said earlier, I'm an attorney. I've been doing these hearings for quite a while now. I have reviewed the documents and the citations that you have referred to me. I don't find them persuasive. You do have the right to travel on the public ways, but you have to have a valid driver's license, and you have to have...
By what law?
Well, hang on. I let you talk.
Okay.
Let me talk.
Very well.
Because we're on the record here, and I want to make sure. Yeah. So, and this is my finding, and the Supreme Court's very clear on points that, you know, that right to travel on the public roads can be conditioned on things like having a driver's license for operating a motor vehicle, having valid registration on that motor vehicle. You know, there's a host of things, and there's plenty of case law at that point. So, well, let me finish. So, based on that and the fact that, you know, there doesn't seem to be any issue of fact related to the validity of the license, the possession of cannabis, and the expiration of the license plates, I do unfortunately have to enter a finding of liable. The amount of the administrative fee will be that $500 that I mentioned at the beginning of the hearing.
And you're going to compensate me then?
So that is not my role.
According to the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
The Fifth Amendment. The Fifth is like your right to remain silent and not self-incriminate. Let me look at the whole thing. Fifth Amendment right. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in the cases arising in the land or naval forces, or in the militia when in actual service in time of war or public danger, nor shall any person be subject for the same office to be twice put in jeopardy of life of limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. It's this last part. So he thinks that his private property has been taken for public use without just compensation. No, that's not what this is at all. This is talking about stuff like eminent domain, like if your city or something, or if the state wants to come in and build a road or a public facility, and they can use this is a federal government thing, so a better example would be like the wall. Trump wants to build a border wall. Let's say your property happens to be on the border. The federal government can come in and force you to sell them that land. Now, at least ideally, they should be forced to do so with just compensation, just like the Constitution says, although arguably they do undercut people. But the idea is that the federal government can't come in and just seize your land with no compensation. But they can with compensation. So he's saying that his property has been taken for public use without compensation. So he's saying he should be compensated. I don't understand what he's saying has been taken from him. If he's talking about his vehicle, then the state or whatever he's being charged with has the right to take his vehicle if he's been shown to, like, break certain laws or it wasn't licensed or whatever. At the very least, he has to, like, pay a bunch of money to get it out of impound, right? It's been seized temporarily, not necessarily permanently. And even so, it's not for public use. They haven't taken his car and made it free for the public to use. He's not had his car taken for any reason other than he broke the law. It's a very different thing. I don't know why he's, like, choosing that hill to die on. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Sir, that's my finding.
That's not a finding.
I'm not going to argue the case with you. As
Really?
I said in the beginning.
Okay.
as
Under
I
what
said-
jurisdiction?
As I said
Under
in the
what
beginning,
jurisdiction?
Pizza and soup. Daddy Sume, that is a weird combination.
You have no
I've never been like, you know what would go good with this pizza? Some soup.
jurisdiction.
Okay, so if you're not going to let me finish, I'm not
Okay, go ahead. You're right.
You do have the right to file an appeal if you disagree with my findings. You have 35 days to file that appeal in the Circuit Court of the 18th Judicial Circuit. Okay? You understand that, right?
I do not understand.
Okay. Well, I've explained it.
I think he's saying I don't understand, and I could be wrong. Different sovereign citizens have different specific beliefs. It's like any, like, cult or religion,
nothing
like different
funny about the
sects
tools of
sort of
capitalism.
form over time. Sometimes they believe that if you say, yes, I do understand, what you're really saying is, yes, I stand under, which somehow means that your authority applies to me, even though you don't need to consent for the government to have authority over you. That's why they're the government. Daddy Sume with a bit. I had a craving. It's Red Baron mini deep dish pizza and ramen noodle soup. Right on.
I am asking,
So you should.
I'm asking and demanding that you honor your oath that you have taken
Thank you, sir.
and recognize the Supreme Court findings that I stated earlier.
Thank you.
You completely misapplied
There's
them,
nothing
so
funny about the
no.
tools of capitalism.
I inherently disagree with Daddy Sume's craving. Fight, 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 fight.
That I do not need a
I got
license.
that
I do not
order.
need a license to drive my personal property.
If you're on your own private property. Like, if you have a vehicle and you drive it on your own private roadways, let's say you own a farm and you have a truck, you can drive it without a license all you want on your own property. You can drive it without insurance, you can drive it without registration, whatever. It's a farm vehicle, it's on your property. But the second you want to take that vehicle onto public roadways, which are owned by the government, they get to decide who gets to drive on them. And you know what they've decided? Anyone in the public can, as long as they have a driver's license and their vehicle is registered and has a valid insurance. It's pretty simple.
Which is an automobile. Do not need it. Registration for a motor vehicle on an automobile.
You do. You do, though. These people are out of their minds. They really need to stop. I don't get why... I don't understand the narcissism and
There's nothing
delusions of
funny about the tools
grandeur
of capitalism.
necessary to believe that you are one of the only people on the planet who somehow figured out that the laws don't apply to you. Of course they apply to you. Why wouldn't they? You look like you need a smile. Oh, thank you, Sushi Mom.
Thank you, sir. That is not my finding. All right, so we have that order printed up for you. You can get a copy from the court station over there.
Hold on. Get this right. Because this is not the end.
Baja Blast says, I personally disagree with the fact that Hannah owns neither a vegetable peeler nor a cutting board. Hey, I don't know. I don't eat vegetables that don't, like, already come in stuff frozen, so I don't know.
No one else is in the audience with regards to balancing administrative code.
All right, Mr. Elliott, there's a warrant for your arrest. Put your hands behind your back and under arrest.
They're arresting him, holy shit.
Really?
That is not my finding.
Did I miss something?
You can get a copy from the service station over there.
Hold on. This right.
To be clear, there was a cutting board in the house, and then my roommate moved out, which has been nice, but it was her cutting board, so she took it. And I never bought a new one. And it's been like a month, maybe 2 months since that person left.
This is not the end.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
MMO Addicted, 100 bits, my sympathies, Baja Blast, how do you, Hannah Reloaded, how do you even live? Well, 95% of my meals come frozen out of a box, or like it's a sandwich, and the other 5% are delivered to me by DoorDash, so...
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Thank you, Cat... Sorry, I'm having trouble with his name.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Catalina Gearbox. There we go. Thank you for the $20 donation. I watched the third Bill and Ted movie. It was good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cute. Daddy Sume with a bit. Hannah, someone is trying to out-horny me. I don't know how to respond to that. That's never happened to me before. Good luck with that.
No one else is in the audience with regards to balancing administrative code.
I don't understand what happened. Did they just, like, up and leave the courtroom in the middle of the proceeding, or what?
Mr. Elliott, there's a warrant for your arrest. Put your hands behind your back and under arrest.
Really? Now I'm being accosted.
There's a warrant for your
Let me see if the chat knows more, if the comments know more. This is not the end, he whispered as he was led out in handcuffs. Beautiful. Should have added the charge of filming in a courtroom too. Wanted to judge the judge, let him speak uninterrupted, but kept interrupting the judge. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I don't get it. I don't get exactly what he was arrested for.
arrest. You are under arrest.
By what authority? You have not provided...
A Christian movie you and Jake should review is Scott Cawthorne's Pilgrim's Progress.
There's nothing funny
Scott
about the tools of
Cawthorne.
capitalism.
Ew.
My name is Christian.
It's gone.
Oh, that's not fun animation. The distant red with 69 bits. Nice. I rest my case at Daddy Sume. Oh, it's the guy who made Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh no. Yeah, he made Christian games prior to Five Nights at Freddy's too, but his like style of animation is creepy. So he decided to apply that towards a horror game, and it worked out really well for him. And hey, that's great. Like, it's cool that like an indie developer created, you know, Five Nights at Freddy's that was such, you know, this like meme, such a phenomenon in terms of like streaming. Remember when everyone was doing Five Nights at Freddy's gameplay? Jake and I even did one at one point. Like, it's pretty crazy. That's taking lemons and turning it into lemonade. Oh, my character models are creepy? Fine, I'll make a horror game. Kinda brilliant. Catalina Gearbox, another $5. It's pronounced Catalina Gearbox. Oh, Catalina Gearbox. I apologize. Thank you.
You have not provided any documentation yet.
Yeah.
You have not provided any documentation.
We will.
This is not a resist. This is no
resisting.
documentation.
You're not
Do you have an
complying
order
with
signed by a judge?
Yes. Yeah.
Let's see it.
I have to be at the station.
Oh, now it's at a station. You're arresting me without paperwork. Without proper
need the paperwork.
I mean, I assume they have the
Nothing funny
warrant.
about
It's
the
just
tools of
at the
capitalism.
station. It would make sense to me if you'd bring it with you, but like I'd understand if it's not something they have to do.
Really? Okay.
We only have to
Cosmic Sean 92, Five Nights at Freddy's is apparently being made into a movie, which sounds dope. Oh, that's gonna be awful. That's gonna be just terrible.
provide it to you later,
Okay.
which we will.
Do you want her to take this
Yes,
out?
please. Yes.
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, so he had some other kind of warrant out for a different issue, saw he had a court hearing, and were waiting for him to leave the courtroom. Gotcha.
You guys are funny.
Over this way.
You guys are slick, huh?
Not slick.
You guys are breaking the law. Acting outside. Yeah.
That truck.
No.
Alright. Anything I need to do? No problem, Mr. Ludwig.
I feel like a Five Nights at Freddy's movie,
There's
since
nothing
we're talking
funny
about
the
it
tools
anyway.
of capitalism.
Like, the game is already, for one thing, I know there are people who are really, really into the Five Nights at Freddy lore. I think it's terrible. I don't find it good. I don't find it entertaining. Oh, there's like a killer and he brought the kids to the back room and there's the ghosts and they inhabit the animatronics. Like, okay, fine, whatever. Don't care. People, on the whole, I don't think like those games for the lore. No one cares except for people who are really, really into it. So the game is already just jump scare the game. So the movie's just gonna be jump scare after jump scare, and that's my least favorite kind of horror. I hate jump scares. It's cheap. Jump scares are like, how do I put this? They're not scary, they're startling. Like, scared and startled can appear similar, but they're not the same thing, right? That's not horror. It would be like, let's imagine I made a comedy, and I'm like, well, I'm not very good at writing jokes. So actually, while the movie plays, I'm just gonna have someone come into the audience and tickle you. You're laughing either way, right? So it must be the same thing. Like, that's the same thing as jump scares. It's very, very cheap. I'd ask what Christian film you'd consider Christian schlock, but that would imply there is a Christian film that isn't Christian schlock. Hey, you know, we review bad religious movies, but, like, there are good ones. The Ten Commandments. Prince of Egypt is a fantastic movie. I'm not gonna say there's a ton, but they do exist. Jesus Christ Superstar, arguably. Let's see. Good Christian
There's nothing funny
movies.
about the tools of capitalism.
Torchbearer. Oh, God. Let me do best Christian movies all time. The Passion of the Christ. Like, I don't like Passion of the Christ specifically because it just ends up being like, oh, it's basically torture porn. But the parts that aren't that, like, that's good filmmaking. It's a pretty well put together movie, all things considered. I just really don't like the potential anti-Semitic implications brought on by Mel Gibson being the director. Chronicles of Narnia. Some of the Chronicles of Narnia movies have been okay, but that's mostly based on the fact that the, like, material's good. Like, say what you will, but, like, the guy who wrote those,
There's nothing
pretty
funny
decent
about the
writer.
tools of capitalism.
Even the ones on the good list suck, though. So, yeah. The problem with religious films isn't, like, that there aren't interesting
nothing funny
stories.
about
The
the
Bible
tools
is
of
full of
capitalism.
really, really interesting stories, right? But I think if you're the kind of person who wants to make a Christian film, you're probably someone who's going to be afraid to deviate or investigate the deeper meanings of these stories. You're just going to want to show it. Or if you're making something that's not directly based on a Bible story, you're going to turn it into a sermon, right? It's not a movie, it's a sermon. You're trying to convert people to Christianity, or you're trying to, more likely, because most of the people who watch movies like God's Not Dead are already Christian, it's just a big circle jerk where you're like, don't worry, your beliefs are great. Everyone who doesn't believe them is wrong. You know, it's bad. It's like, it's the Christian version of the fedora tipping atheist, you know? It's like, don't worry, this movie says your beliefs are not only right, they're the only correct way, and everyone who's good is Christian, you know? It's pretty cringe. I don't know. But, like, Noah is an okay movie? That's also okay? I don't know. That's gonna depend on how you feel about Aronofsky, though. He kind of gets up his own butt.
There's nothing funny about
Jump
the
scares
tools
are
of
best used at the beginning of a chase sequence, otherwise it's a cheap scare device, yeah. Daddy Sume, the lead actor getting struck by lightning, tells me that it doesn't have God's blessing. Let me see, did I miss anything else? Bells of Innocence, it was a masterpiece. True.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
No, sir. I'm not a threat like you guys.
Later.
Catalina Gearbox with another $5. There was a movie where time travelers from the future go back and kill Jesus. 10 out of 10.
It's not going to go with you, so it's going to be taken off.
Love to watch that one.
You cannot take this.
I can actually, because you do not have anything on your person when you get arrested.
Really? All right. So refusing me on that, huh? Will you hold it then? So that way this can all be
It'll
removed?
go with you.
$100 there and later.
Do you want her to take any of this stuff, or do you want it?
Yes, have her take that, please.
Ma'am!
Vicky,
Ma'am!
can you please take my money?
Do you want her to take this or no?
No.
Okay, well,
She needs to view this.
it's going to be put into property, so you're not going to have
All right,
use of
I'll
it.
have her take that. I will have her take that. Okay.
Alright, it's on.
Yes.
Smile for the camera.
Karen!
I'm out here trying to do my job, me and my kids. Do you see this lady standing here behind my car?
There's nothing funny about capitalism.
Tucker White 24, I'd love to see a Bible film that's basically a satire of the Bible, especially if it played up what an incompetent murderer psychopath Yahweh is. Oh, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Like, I don't know. Like there are movies today that show Zeus as, you know, the jerk he was. But that's with a lot of distance, right? And with almost no one actually thinking Zeus exists or worshiping him. Although I think there are some people who still do that. I think that's like neo-paganism or something. I have no idea. But like, taking any religion that a lot of people believe and putting that harsh of a spin on it, even if you and I think that that's an appropriate way to look at the material, questionable. Very questionable.
Hey, here's the kicker, though. I invited them both to the.
Standing here behind my car.
Can barely hear that one. Saw that one before.
You asked. Okay, okay, let's go.
Oh, you're right.
You were there illegally?
You're right. Miss, seriously.
No, I'm not doing anything wrong right now. I'm just telling you to get your dog out of the way.
Bellstar. Can we watch this trailer, though? What is it?
Vampires no longer fear the sun. Now they're going to learn. It's time to fear the Son of God!
This isn't a real movie, is it?
When the living dead outnumber the living, even the Messiah needs a little help. Phil Caracas is Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter.
Looks funny.
Open your eyes.
Oops. I gotta get different
Karen's
Karen
coming
videos.
categories.
Hold on.
Bubba cut off a category 3.
You are dark, you are off this. Get off this.
Karen compilation 37. That means they probably have more. Let me see if I can find a playlist.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
The movie's real, yeah. It's probably funny. I feel like it's one joke, though. It's basically just the same joke, you know?
Now! I want the camera out! Who gave you permission? I need your name! Oh, you just did an illegal phone! Then you always work here alone! What's your name and number, Norma Kay? You come here all the time!
I have never been here in my life.
That's a lie! Oh, give me the film and the camera! I've had it with
The film and the camera? What is this, 1995?
you photographers! You're a photographer! Give me the card! Give me your card! You're here, Dairy Queen, get out! Don't smart to me you did before!
Fuck is the problem?
I want the film! I want the camera!
What did we do wrong?
You're 1, trespassing! 2, illegal photographs! 3, you're not allowed! 4, you've been yelled at!
Sorry for the hassle.
No, you're not! You'll do it again till I do something to stop it! You want to give me your name so you can explain your story? Jeffrey what?
Oh.
Hamilton.
Jeffrey, are you a photographer? Ask me to leave. Why would you say that to me?
Oh no, not at Alta. Not during the COVID.
Why would you say that? If you had something to say to me, Mel, why didn't you just talk to me? Because I don't have a face mask on.
Yeah, leave the store. Do you not see the plexiglass in front of the cashier things? It's pretty clear they want you to wear a mask.
You just hit it. Bring me up, please, right now. Because I don't have a face mask on. You don't treat me with respect. Because I don't have... Is that what you're saying?
No, they're saying leave. Like, this has nothing to do with respect, although if you want to get personal, yeah, I have very little respect for someone who doesn't respect the safety of others around them and refuses to wear a mask. But beyond that, who cares about respect? Get out of the store. Like, it's that simple.
Ma'am, I'm seriously, I have been minding my business. I think your manager told me that I needed a mask next time I came in here. That's all that was said to me. You approached me, and the very first thing you said to me was, if I refuse to leave. I'm in line to leave.
Okay, but like, clearly, by what you just said, it means you've been in here before. They're probably aware of you. So that means that they know that you're refusing to wear a mask, even after being told that you need one. So they know you're gonna be belligerent. I very much doubt that the first time you showed up and the manager said you need to wear a face mask, that you took it in stride, considering how you're behaving right now. So I imagine the employees know of you. They were probably warned, hey, there's this crazy lady who's refusing to wear a mask. If she comes in, kick her out. Pretty simple.
And that came out of your mouth. Why? Because I don't have a mask on, you get to be rude and accuse me of doing something wrong.
You are doing something wrong.
I shouldn't even buy this crap. You're right, I don't have to.
Do you ever look at someone and wonder?
Good, she left. That's what they wanted. Good.
What is going on inside their head?
Wait, what? What's she freaking out over? The man grabbing her is the husband? She's freaking out with measuring tape for some reason.
Goodness sakes. Venimos a tener un pacífico día y...
Supuestamente una enfermera.
Supuestamente enfermera quiere que nos movamos más lejos.
I don't speak Spanish, unfortunately, so I don't know what this lady is saying.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Tucker White, 24. Just a reminder that conservatives think service workers who put up with insufferable Karens like this shouldn't get paid more. Yeah.
I'm sorry, we'll be making it, okay? I waited, and you served the person after me!
Oh my god, lady. Get over it.
I don't want it, I just want my fucking money back! I'm not waiting on a line! And yell at me, you have no right to refuse me service! After 20 minutes of the fucking...
Karen doesn't know the address, so she screams at the post office clerks for not helping her.
Incompetence, if you can't figure out where an address is in Brooklyn, and you refuse me service because you're just stupid! You are so stupid!
Dude Spanking Dude says ladies being racist because Dude Spanking Dude speaks Spanish, apparently. Okay, thank you. Thanks for the gist.
How dare you! I'm trying to do my mother a favor and you're too stupid to figure out an address and...
Lady, if you don't know the address, that's on you. Like, what do you think? You're gonna walk into the post office and you're gonna be like, I need to send this to Kelly in Brooklyn. And they're gonna go, oh yeah, hold on, let me pull up Kelly's address. Like, how are they gonna know who it is?
New York! I cannot believe you have a job here! Oh, you're so big and bad.
Hey, this lady cuts lines.
Hey,
this lady cuts lines.
See what it says right there?
They cut lines.
Lines are open.
Hey, you know it's COVID, you dumbass bitch.
Mackenzie, go.
That's assault. That's evidence of assault and battery on camera. Good job.
Get back in the car.
Go back to Mexico. I said...
Oh, we've seen this one. This lady's uses racial slurs. What's wrong with these people? Honestly, if we could just, like, get a racist Karen magnet and put it over the entirety of the United States and just, like, suck them up and drop them somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean, I think we'd be in a better spot as a country.
Who the fuck says we don't?
Who says we don't? Who says we don't live here? Who says we don't live here, bitch?
Hello, Lindor, please. Hello.
I have a problem. There's a guy that came out in the bushes. He's trying to take pictures of me. He looks illegal.
You think the use of slurs is why the Karen meme YouTube channel keeps getting banned? Well, then they should just bleep it. I've seen plenty of these Karen videos, which, thankfully, they bleep the racial slurs. Like, it's pretty simple. The accents infuriate you. Sorry. Cosmic Sean 92. It's so weird when white people say go back to where you came from. Like, the whole southwest of the country was stolen from Mexico. Yeah. Anyone in the United States saying go back where you came from is an idiot. Like, do you not understand that the vast majority of the people in the U.S., their roots in this country probably only go back like 3 or 4 generations tops? Like, no one in the United States except for Native Americans can claim like, oh, my ancestry goes back just so far, we don't even know. Like, no!
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Captain Seculoid with 95 bits. We should give all the years of life that racist Karens have left to all the good pets. That would be nice. Catalina Gearbox with another $5. America is really a horrible place full of entitled racists. Yeah? Yeah?
I'm at Walmart. There's a guy illegal here. He's illegal. He doesn't speak English.
Just because someone doesn't speak English doesn't necessarily mean they're illegal. And frankly, if you're someone who's going to report anyone for being illegal if they don't have, like, papers or whatever, they're an undocumented immigrant, you're an asshole. You're just an a-hole. It's a person trying to do the best with what they have. Presumably they're a very hard-working individual who came to this country in order to make money for themselves or for their family, and you're going to report them to ICE? Like, ridiculous. Tucker White 24, even American Indians aren't actually native to America. Their ancestors likely came from Russia over the Serbian land bridge. Well, sure, that comes down to like a philosophical question as to how long does a group of people have to be in a certain place before they're considered indigenous, right? I don't know. But I think it's fair to say that Native Americans are more indigenous than the European people who came after. How about that?
Coming out of the bushes at Walmart in Glendora. He punked somebody for an outfit. Can he come get him? He's taking a picture of me. Hi. He's being weird. He's from Mexico. The other guy behind him might.
Wow, he's speaking weird. It's called Spanish. A huge portion of the world's population speaks it. It's not weird, it's just a different language. Jesus.
Do we live here? Are you from Africa? I'm from Glendora. Hi. This guy's so weird right now. He's gonna drive a truck out of here. He's illegal and belongs to Mexico. The address is Glendora Walmart. Can you Google that before he moves out? Because he's gonna take off and he's not. Can you get a cop over here fast enough? I'm gonna block his fucking truck. I'm gonna block the fucker's truck. I'm gonna block this fucker's truck that doesn't belong in Glendora. Who are you? Who's this motherfucker that doesn't belong? Do you have a green card?
This is like ridiculous. What is wrong with these people? These are the kind of people that in Nazi Germany would have been like, what are you, Jewish? I'm gonna call the Gestapo. Like, legit. What is wrong with these people? What is the problem with people's brains where they look at someone who's different from them, whether it be like race or nationality or whatever, and then their brain goes, they're not as human as me. They don't deserve to breathe the same air as me. I don't get it. I do not get it. It's disgusting.
No. I don't know who this guy is. How do you know? You know who he is? Okay, because I don't know this guy. He's videotaping me, and he looks creepy from Mexico. He's speaking broken English, La Migra.
Hey, that's super racist.
It's not racist.
It is racist.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I have a friend down the street.
If a bunch of people, and this is a good general rule in general. Ooh, redundant. This is a good general rule. If you're doing something and the people around you are saying, hey, that's racist, or it doesn't even have to specifically be racism. If people around you are saying, like, you're being a dick, or you're being a bully, you don't get to say, no, I'm not, because no one has the reflective ability to judge that when everyone around you is disagreeing, right? Maybe assume if people are calling you a bully or a racist or a jerk or whatever, oh no, I've done something wrong. I apologize. I don't get it. I don't get these people's thought processes.
No, it's not. No, I've seen a guy beat up. No, it's not racist. My dad is black.
Ooh, she's graduated from I have a black friend to my dad is black. Wasn't Sargon trying to pull that card a little bit ago or something? Did he say his grandfather was black or something?
My dad is black.
Like, that has nothing to do with you being racist against Hispanic individuals. Like, you could You could literally be like an African American person, and you could still be racist against Hispanic people. Anyone has the ability to be racist against any racial group. What are you doing? Cosmic Sean 92. Quote, my dad is black. I can't press X to doubt any harder. Daddy Sume. His great-grandfather is part black. Oh, God. Sargon.
I'm not racist. Those guys from Mexico, they punk people, and they fucking don't know everybody's goddamn illegal shit. You understand?
Yeah.
And my dad's black. Don't call me racist, asshole.
My family works in law.
Oh, okay. So what? I want to make sure this guy's legit. I don't want him punking.
It's not your job. It's not your job to go and try and be the police and decipher whether or not someone's here legally. Mind your own business. To be honest, you could have a black dad and hate black people, including your dad. Oh, absolutely. It's possible to be part of a racial minority and hate the racial minority that you're a part of. Look at Jesse Lee Peterson. Like, these people exist.
So he could be punking your fucking job, taking your fucking outfit, working to get paperwork. I have all my paperwork over here. My dad's black, asshole.
She's really sticking with that excuse.
It's not racist, stupid. Don't tell me I'm racist because he's Mexican. My little nephew's Italian, Mexican, and Aloha. Stupid fuck. Don't tell me I'm racist. This fucker is coming out of the bushes telling me to move my car because he
sounds like an out-of-context line. Yeah.
I want to know who this piece of shit is.
Police Officer Karen reporting for duty.
Who the fuck are you? Do you have a green card? Are you legit? That's all I'm asking. I don't want to think you're fucking up American lives. Racist. What are you doing sitting in your fucking car? Get a job. Get his job.
The paradox of being Hispanic, both simultaneously lazy and stealing all the jobs. Yep. These people are idiots. I genuinely don't understand it. Like, how can you be like, oh, you're all awful and lazy, and also, you're stealing my job? Like, how shit are you if someone that you think is awful and lazy is stealing your job? That doesn't even make sense. Frustrating. Oh, another Karen. Dr. Gamble, well, my work is done here, officer. Karen, over and out.
No, you never responded nothing, you lied to Instacart.
What did you say?
You never responded. I said I do not want any substitutions. I do not want 3 pounds of meat.
There's nothing funny about the
You did. You substituted extra meat.
Tucker White, correction, that, quote, my dad is black line is one of that sounds worse in context than out of it. So this looks like someone did like a grocery delivery thing, which is really convenient, by the way. If you haven't tried it during COVID, it's incredibly convenient. Something I'll probably like do even when COVID's over, just because I hate going to the store anyway. It's a lot easier to just order online and pay like $10 to have someone deliver it. But anyway, I guess the Karen is claiming that they did substitutions, and the person who's delivering is saying they didn't.
No.
Yeah, you did. You did not. You did.
Okay, they reimburse you your money, so what's the problem?
No, they're not. I'm getting meat that I don't want.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. You lied to them on multiple times on a recorded line.
No, I didn't. I said,
and you're lying to me now because they're telling me something different.
No, I can call the lady now.
Go right ahead.
Okay. Let me do my phone. I don't have to lie for Instacart that I don't pay for.
There's nothing funny about the
You can't be messing with people's orders of money like that. You need to ask.
Ma'am, she's a foreigner. She said she's going to reimburse you your money.
No, she didn't.
MMO Addicted with 25 bits. It's like the year fascism as described by Umberto Eco. The enemy is at the same time super strong and dangerous and weak and pathetic. Nazis said it about Jews. Trump says it about the press. It's baked into this shit, yeah. Yep. Racists and fascists. Name a more iconic duo.
Unless I can take the meat back and I can...
I don't... Literally, you don't want to listen, so there's no point in you coming back.
I'm not coming back.
Get the rest of my stuff and get off my fucking property, since you don't want to listen and since you want to lie.
How rude. Like, this person is legit working this job for this, like, grocery app. Just trying to make ends meet, probably. Just trying to make money. And you're being like this to them. Really? Even if there was something wrong with the order, it's fine. Get over it. Be like, hey, excuse me, I'm sorry. There was this issue. Is there anything I can do? And they'll probably tell you, like, hey, you can probably through the app do something and they'll reimburse you, which is what it sounds like this lady is saying. I don't understand the big deal. Why jump to being a jerk? I never understand that leap. Dr. Gamble with 30 bits. Is the meat thing really this important? Can't she just say, aw, shucks, and take her groceries and call it a day, right?
And since you don't want to pick up your phone from Instacart.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Catalina Gearbox with $5. A more iconic duo is the ambiguously gay duo. I understand that reference. The ambiguously gay duo.
You didn't get all my shit either. Yeah, you don't want to respond.
That happens with grocery apps sometimes. For instance, Baja orders groceries sometimes for here. Occasionally, not occasionally, most of the time there's a couple items or whatever that the person who does the picking for the groceries, the person who actually goes and gets the stuff off the shelf, can't find, or they're out of it, whatever. All they do is they just don't charge you for that. It's fine. It's fine. That's gonna come with delivering groceries. Like, you're not physically there to do it, so if someone can't find it or whatever, or if they're out, you just don't get it. It's fine. It's fine. They don't charge you for things typically if they don't have it, right? If they don't have it, then they, in fairness, this might be a third-party grocery app that I'm not super familiar with, but it seems to me it would make sense for them to maybe take an initial money out, but then if they are missing items, they will rebate you the amount for the items that you don't get. I haven't used this app before, though. Either way, I'd imagine she could talk to Instacart and get the money if she deserves any. There's no hope for this species? Oh, totally. I'm over it. I'm so over it. At this point, I'm like, whatever. I'm not having kids. I don't want kids. Let's watch this thing burn to the ground. It's not going to be a fun time, but hey, it'll sure be a time.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Bumble Homestead with 100 bits. My experience with people like this is they're usually holding on to their standard of living by the skin of their teeth and get real mad about every wasted dollar. Yeah, well, they should stop reaching so hard and only live within their means. Oh, the same lady is, like, yelling at a different Instacart shopper. Jeez.
Yeah, you don't know how to...
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Dr. Gamble with a bit. App worker, I pick up so you don't have to risk horrible death. Customer, F you, where's my meat? Ooh, skate park Karen. In, like, these look like, you know how Plato had that idea of, like, platonic ideals? Plato basically thought that, like, the reason that there are rabbits is because somewhere in, like, a thought realm, almost, there is the rabbit, the idea of the rabbit, and that is the rabbit from which all other rabbits come from. Some may deviate in different ways, but they're all coming from this essential idea of rabbit. These pants are the platonic ideal of mom jeans.
Right here, right now, they better all hear it. Any profanity? No. You laugh? You laugh? Any profanity comes out of any of y'all's mouths. There is a rule that says no profanity. There's a city policeman sitting right over there. And I will take any one of y'all to him, and y'all will go to juvenile court.
For what?
Tape record it, put it on YouTube, put it wherever you'd like.
Where's this coming from?
He was cussing like a sailor.
Lady, I don't know how to break this to you, but there's no law about kids swearing. Kids are allowed to swear, and more than that, kids do swear. It's fine. Every kid swears. And even if they don't, that's also fine. But kids swear all the time. Were you gonna police these children's language? You're not their mom. Get over it.
And I asked him not to. And he refused.
Although this is the South. At least it sounds like it from her. Maybe she's just from somewhere else, though. I don't know. I'm trying to imagine. Although, I don't know. I'm trying to imagine a situation where a bunch of kids get brought before, like, a family court for some juvenile issue, and they're like, well, we have you here on charges of cussing today. Might be a rule at the skate park. That would be silly. But, like, even if it were, that wouldn't be a police matter unless they were told to leave and then they didn't leave. Dr. Gamble with 10 bits and a link. Let me see what this link is.
Hey, Patrick, how the are ya?
Pretty good, SpongeBob.
When they filmed that, like when they recorded the VO lines for that episode where they're doing the swearing, do you think they swore for real and they just obviously bleep it out as part of the joke? Are there recordings somewhere of SpongeBob and Patrick swearing at each other? They did? Nice.
So I called the city police, and they said I can take him.
Did they ever release them or leak them? SpongeBob swearing unedited?
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Since it's blowing up on Twitter and might have to find the source, I'll make a statement in the description. I created this video. Re-uploading, reposting is allowed. What's hilarious is that Tom Kenny later said that it was too hard in voice recording to actually stop talking when they were supposed to cuss, so he asked the producers, how about we actually cuss and then you censor it out later? Clancy Brown said, I'm totally up for that. MMO Addicted with 25 bits. I mean, swearing is penalized up to $500 over here if done in public or near little kids. What?
There's nothing funny about
Where?
capitalism.
That's ridiculous. Antipodian Squid. Kid falls off half pipe and breaks arms. Aw, snickerdoodles.
Hi, Patrick. Hey, Patrick, do you know what this word means?
Isn't that the red sweaty guy you work for?
Nah, not that word. That word.
Fuck face. I think I know what that means. That's one of those sentence enhancers.
Sentence enhancers?
You use it when you want to talk fancy. You just sprinkle it over anything you say and well, you got yourself a spicy sentence sandwich.
Oh, I get it. Let me try. Hello, Patrick. Lovely fucking day we're having, isn't it?
Oh, that is weird. Oh, God.
This fucking thing day is particularly fucking lovely.
How fucking right you are, Patrick.
Taxation?
Is that?
Fuck yeah.
Ooh,
What? Taxation is theft? Oh, no.
Or any of you that can't respect it if you want to mouth off in front of a child.
They are children. They look like children. Oh, this kid's pulling up his pants like hers.
This is a city park, and there's no reason to be talking like that.
This kid's my idol.
Right, I understand. A lot of us don't act like that, though, so...
Exactly.
Racist Taco Bell Karen complaining about burrito prices. The irony of complaining in a racist way while in a taco restaurant is beyond me. Inmate 1, what did you do to get on? Inmate 2, I killed 3 people. You, I said the B word at a skate park after I broke my leg. Please don't hurt me. If you're a mom and have a problem with kids swearing, just go to that kid and politely ask them not to swear. What's so hard about that? No.
I'm so scared. Do it, please.
Watch me, nigger. Nigger mother.
Nope. Ridiculous. These people are the worst.
What is supposed to be on the park bench?
Who said that? Who made that?
MMO addicted. Well, it hasn't been enforced since like 2005, but it was never abolished. If we had your police, we'd be royally effed.
Made it a rule.
Well, it's just out of respect for everybody. Out of respect for everybody.
There's nobody here. I'm here, and I'm here for a purpose, but it's none of your business. It's none of your business.
You're waiting for a bus. If you're waiting for a bus,
No.
sit over there.
So this is America, right? You are entitled to do whatever you want. Freedom of speech, freedom of where to sit, and how you want to sit.
But
you
not
can't,
like that on
you
the bench.
Cannot
Because...
No. You can't. No. You gotta get away from me. You gotta get away from me. I'm here minding my business. I did not stop and talk to you. You gotta get out of No. You gotta get out of my face, out of my business.
Dr. Gamble with another link.
Homework's whack, and so are rules. Tuck it in your shirts for fools. No!
Away from me.
Well, then
honestly,
you can get away from me and leave right now because
I was sitting here from the start. You just walked up
well, you
out of
shouldn't
nowhere.
be sitting that way.
I can sit however I want.
Really? Who thinks it's okay to walk up to someone and police how they're sitting on a bench? What is wrong with people? Mind your friggin' business. Go away.
On the bench. Do you
I
sit that way at home?
I can sit however I want to.
Do you sit that way at home?
Matter of fact, I do.
Really?
Matter of fact, I do.
And then somebody isn't going to want to sit there because your feet are there, and heaven knows what. You
know what?
Oh my God! So he has his feet on the bench. Who cares? It's a public bench. If you're worried about sanitation, I have bad news for you. Don't sit on a public bench.
Funny about the tools of capitalism.
Let's find some male Karens because there are men who are just as insufferably bitchy. Yeah, we'll get some male Karens at some point. Also, why is she even wearing the mask if she's gonna wear it wrong?
To the shoes. Do you have gum on your shoes?
Do you have anything important else to do but bother me? Do you have anything else important to do?
Well,
don't you have
a gentleman and sit properly, then I'd be all right.
You don't know me. You don't know if I'm a gentleman or not. Matter of fact, I promise you I work 3 times as hard as you. And this is my moment to take a second for myself and wait for what I need to wait for and mind my business.
How do you know what I do? You don't know what I do.
Listen.
You're running your mouth.
100%.
That's all you're doing.
If you were busy, you wouldn't stop and talk to me. That's how busy you're not, right?
I don't work anymore. I've already worked my whole entire life,
and that's the point.
And you're a young one, and you don't know. You don't know. You don't want to listen.
Everyone here knows this, but like, if you're pulling down your mask, and for one thing, you're touching the interior of it with your hands, which have probably been touching stuff anyway, so you're completely contaminating your mask. But if you're moving your mask to talk, you've completely misunderstood the purpose of the mask. What is wrong with you?
You don't know me.
Give you advice.
No, I don't need advice from you. What advice can I have from you? Can you tell me how to not get murdered by a policeman? Can you tell me how to not get judged when I walk into a workplace?
Yes.
No, you can't. Because you're not my skin color, and you never know where I came from.
And
so
you don't know how
me.
I am. You don't know how to...
I don't know you. But I didn't ask to know you. I didn't ask for you to stop.
I'm not judging you like that,
Obviously you are, because I'm not sitting the right way.
I'm not judging you that way. Just know,
but here's what I want.
From my heart, I would never do that to anybody.
That's fine.
Okay?
But I want you to just leave me alone. I don't want to be bothered. I sat here because I didn't want to be bothered. I came over here because I wanted some peace of mind, and you're not even allowing me that.
But you're thinking of
you're robbing me of my time.
Police.
It's not. It's not about the police. It's about you. It's about.
Well, that escalated. Yes, it did.
It's about you recognizing that this...
Because it's I doubt she would have said anything if he was a white guy. I very much doubt it. It's possible there are people who are just busybodies in general, but I feel like the fact that this guy happens to be African-American probably emboldened her. She probably thinks she's better than this person, and she thinks, well, I better educate this guy on how to sit on a bench, as if it's any of her business how this adult man is behaving. Dr. Gamble with 10 bits. Does I'm older, therefore I'm smarter than you, and right count as ancient wisdom? I need to get a... Oh, shoot, it's not Tuesday, is it?
This is not your moment to say anything to me.
Do you know
this
how
is not
bad
a moment for you.
Do you know how bad I felt
It's not about
when
how
that
bad
happened?
you feel. It's not about how you feel. It's about you going about your business. No, it's about you going about your business.
You don't care what skin color.
Listen,
you know?
I deal with drama. I deal with drama all day long, and I want peace of mind right now. All I want is peace of mind.
Really?
So
okay, so sit
listen,
properly
God,
and you'll get
God
peace
bless
of
you.
mind.
God bless you and have a good day.
Ooh, that's the polite FU right there. God bless you. Have a good day.
But I don't need any of this right now. I didn't come here to get harassed by you because you think I should be sitting a particular way.
I understand why.
I just want you to go.
You think that just because I'm a different color than you are, that I think differently than you.
Obviously,
I don't.
Because you felt the need to stop and tell me what I should be doing.
And you should go in your
instead
house.
Of walking, instead
of now she's yelling at someone else.
Go in your house and don't mind.
your business.
Oh, wait, now she cares about people minding their own business now that it's her business that's being intruded on? Gee, I wonder if that's hypocritical.
Yeah, all you're doing is listening and butting in, and you don't need to do that.
So close to understanding, yet so far away. The ego chasm is one that I fear she will never be able to cross.
Go! He's another one. He's a liar. He's a liar. He lied.
You know what, man? You just ruined my day. Leave me alone, lady. Fucking Christ, man.
See, this is an honest business. This is nobody bothering you. It's an honest business. It's not. All this is residential, and we're allowed to have yard sales. And we're allowed to have yard sales in residential areas.
My city council.
That's all right. I already talked to him, and that's why I got my license with the city council. So I already talked to him, and I pay my taxes.
No, get off the corner before we call the police.
And I pay my taxes. So I know I ain't doing nothing wrong. They already came.
Get away from here before we call the police. You cannot come over here.
Yeah,
get away from here. Get away from here.
They were already here.
Okay, goodbye.
But please call them.
Please do. Don't go by her car, worry. Stay right here.
Antipodian Squid. All she's doing is policing how other people relax, and she doesn't need to be doing that. I love the pleasure pain you're bringing me. First thing in the morning, Hannah. You're beautiful. Thank you. Dr. Gamble. OMG, is this still going?
Stay right here.
The stream? Or no, this is a different situation. What do you mean?
Hey!
Out here with a yard sale. This is not bothering you at all.
And we got your license plate.
This has nothing to do about destroying the city. This has nothing to do about a business. This has something to do about business. Okay. No, you're right. You're right.
Leave them alone. Leave them.
Jesus. Aaron refuses to wear a mask and threatens to sue Starbucks staffer member, La Mirada, California.
Always go through this. Thank you, time for Starbucks.
Her poor kids.
You guys.
Whenever I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again. I feel bad for these kids. Because when you're in a situation like this and you're a kid, you feel so bad, and you know that what's going on is not okay, and you know that the person who's being like a Karen is doing what they're doing and it's wrong, but you have absolutely no power, and then you're getting taken away with that person, and you know that like you have to act like you agree with them because they have power over you. I've told this story, so, but I'm gonna tell it again in case any of you didn't hear it. Hercules Happy Meal toys. So, the movie Hercules came out when I was young. It was in the 90s, whatever. Let me see. That's kind of a better picture. And of course, like a lot of movies in the 90s, and now, I guess, I just don't think about it because I don't get Happy Meals. They had Happy Meal toys, right? I was staying with my grandparents. My grandmother is awful. She's so self-interested. She treated my grandfather like crap. Like, up until, like, every day of his life until his death. I mean, I'm telling you, this guy, this poor guy. Anyway, one time we went to McDonald's, and it was during this Hercules Happy Meal toy thing, and the toy that I got was this cup. If you look on the right here, you see the cup, and it's the cup from Hercules, right? They showed this cup in the movie Hercules, and then they made it a Happy Meal toy. I get this cup. And I'm a kid. I don't know what year Hercules came out. I couldn't have been that old. 1998. So, I would have been like 4, maybe 5. Okay? I'm 4 or 5. I get this as a Happy Meal toy. It's a cup. I didn't like this. Because I'm 4 or 5, right? I'm like, aw. I don't think I was, like, mad or anything. But I was like, aw, the Happy Meal toy's a cup. You know, just because as a kid. Even though it's kind of a neat cup. It's not something you can play with, really, you know? So, we're like halfway home. My grandmother, 97, did it come out in 97? Then I would have only been 3. It had to be a little later. I don't know. Anyway, it was during this. My grandmother, who realizes I am disappointed that the Happy Meal toy is a cup, drives back to the McDonald's, goes through the drive-thru again, and then screams at the minimum wage, probably high school employee about the fact that the Happy Meal toy is a cup. Even though, of course, this is something that is dictated at, like, the high corporate level. I'm sure they have a whole division for, like, designing the Happy Meal toys. This is not a regional thing. It's certainly not an individual thing. So she goes to the drive-thru, wastes everyone's time, screams at the employee. Whatever. I don't remember how that ended, but I know I felt incredibly embarrassed, and I felt it was my fault for saying anything about the cup. But really, no. Kids are gonna say, like, dumb stuff, but the adult in this situation needs to be like, hey, it's fine, you'll get other Happy Meals. It's a cup, it's a cool cup, enjoy the cup. Like, you don't drive back and scream at another adult because a child is disappointed in a Happy Meal toy. God, she was just the worst. Tucker White 24. What happened to the good old days when it was children who threw these kind of shit fits rather than grown adults? I guess they grew up into Karens, and they just never learned. Dr. Gamble with 100 bits. I just assume they are all the same amalgamation of Karen, the metaphorical Cronenberg Karen, so to speak. Where did it go? Where did it go? There we go. Good on them for blocking the kid's face.
She doesn't want to wear a mask.
What's your last name, Matt? I'm going to get your last name, Matt. Oh, because I'm going to sue you. That's why. You just discriminated against me. For sure. You too.
How do people like that not understand they're the bad guys? You're the bad guys, people. Knock it off. Sovereign citizen. Oh, good. That was a productive movement or moment.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
How hard is it to wear a mask for 5 bloody minutes inside a McDonald's or whatever? You're giving money to our corporate overlords? That's what I don't get. It's not that much of an inconvenience. Even if it were. It's like, it's just to go in to order a coffee or whatever at Starbucks. Just do it.
No.
Let him record. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I have to. I have to.
But let's go. You're going to wait outside.
I'm not going anywhere until the marshals get here. Asking you to take the phone.
Hey, what's up, guys? Out here at the federal courthouse. I was physically removed from the courthouse. My phone was taken from me briefly.
You know how easy it is to not be physically removed from a federal courthouse? Very easy. You just have to do nothing.
I now have the phone, but they physically removed me. I asked, look, I went to court when they trespassed me. Nobody showed up from the marshal's office, and the trespass charge was dismissed. I'm here at the federal courthouse now, and they physically removed me as I went in, and I showed my ID. One of the young ladies that works here checked my ID and said, no, you're still not allowed in. I objected to it, and I said I'm not going anywhere. They grabbed me, they physically removed me, they grabbed my phone from me. I do have the camera. The camera was on, but right now they're just guarding the doors, saying that I cannot come in. They said I've been trespassed, but they had an opportunity to show up in court, but they failed to do so. I try to come here to support Omar Kazi, who has a hearing this morning, and they're not allowing me in. They won't give me a reason why they're keeping me out. I told them I'm not going anywhere, so I'm staying out here in the front. I think this is stupid. This is silly. They have no right to do this. They're acting like children.
A sovereign citizen claiming anyone else is acting like children is hilarious. You guys literally are like the kids in Tag or something who would make up rules on the spot so you wouldn't have to get tagged. Like, oh, nope, I was by the swing set. The swing set's immunity. What? We didn't establish that rule. Too bad. And they keep running.
I have a right to be here. I have a right of passage here through a public building. They're preventing me from entering for whatever reason. But I mean, I'm not going to stand by and just take it. So if they're calling Metro, I'll allow Metro to come, do whatever they have to do. If they want to give me another, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a trespass.
Oh no, the courthouse is being silly. Quick, notify the ACLU.
Or whatever, but they never.
Judgment. I declare you silly.
There's nothing funny
formally trespassed me.
12-second cleanse. We can do that real quick.
Since pilots couldn't see out of the plane because of angled landing, engineers put together a solution.
The Concorde featured a droop snoot.
Droop snoot?
Yeah, the snoot would droop.
The snoot drooped.
Hey, my name. From this area. No, Aaron, I did not even get past the metal detectors. They grabbed me, they grabbed my phone. One fell inside. So I didn't get to see Omar at all or go into the building. I told him the Bundy trial is over. I don't know why you guys are keep telling me that I don't have a right to be here. So that's a quick update.
I would imagine because you cause problems every time you're on the courthouse property.
We will see what happens next. I will keep you guys updated. Right now, the security, they're blocking the entry. So, you work here, right?
Yeah, great. Harass people outside the courthouse. That'll go well for you, too.
All of social media, man. They want to know.
All of social media. Now I really want to know how many people he has watching his live streams. I bet it's like 12 people.
I'm just trying to enter, but they won't allow me to enter. They won't allow me to enter because, whatever reason, they think I can't go in. Especially this young lady right there. The fake Bundy friend. She acted like everybody's friend. That lady acted like everyone's friend, but yet talked about you guys behind your back. So, yeah. So at this point, still trying to, I'm waiting on them to get back to me. And, I don't think I'm going to be able to go in this time, guys. I think this is silly. They won't let me inside. Gave them an opportunity to show up at court at municipal court, at city court, nobody from the marshal's office showed up. Nobody from the courthouse showed up. So again, they're preventing me from entering because of my political views, because I exercise my First Amendment right.
Oh, okay. So you're in trouble because you're filming in a courtroom. I imagine he's been caught filming in a courtroom multiple times. You're not allowed to film in a lot of courtrooms. That's why often with these sovereign citizen videos, you'll see the filming happening from a pocket or from some position where the camera doesn't really see anything, because it is illegal in many places to record a courtroom. That's just the case. It's been ruled on multiple times. It's not infringing on your First Amendment rights. There are just places where you're not allowed to record in a courtroom. The courtroom near me where I've served jury duty, or I should say, where I've been called in for jury duty. I've never actually been selected to be on a jury. I don't know if that's luckily or unluckily. Boy, can you imagine? Oh, God. See, here's the thing. I argue a lot for a living, or I look at stuff like this where I gotta be argumentative and stuff, but I don't like arguing, right? I'm afraid I'd end up on a jury where, like, I really disagree with everyone else on it, and I'm gonna have to spend, like, a week arguing with everyone, and then, you know, it's just gonna be a hung jury, because if I think the person's not guilty, I'm not gonna find him guilty. I don't know. But anyway, like, you're not allowed to film in courtrooms. Like, you're not even allowed to bring your phone into the courtroom near me. You just can't. You have to leave it in your car, just in case someone might want to film. What is with the wildly fluctuating camera brightness and microphone volume? Of him or of me? If it's of him, it's because he's just using his phone and he's outside. If it's of me, I don't know.
Supposed to show whenever you start speaking up and whenever you start rattling the cage, they will prevent you or impede on your rights, on your right to travel, on your right to speak, your right to witness a public hearing. This is they're being childish.
Him? Okay.
As many of you know, some of you have
probably just because he's outside and he's filming on a phone.
Have seen me deal with these folks before. I've never been violent. I've never cursed at them. I've never raised my voice.
Antipodian Squid with 10 bits. Hannah on a jury, seeing the evidence and hearing the defendant say something stupid and blurting out in the middle of court. Source or why, though? How does that make sense to you? Look, I know that's a funny image, but, like, I get it. Like, it's not my job as a jury to fucking question anyone. You sit there and you listen. You sit there and you listen, and then you make a decision based on what you heard. Them's the rules.
So, Federico. Oh, God.
I don't know if I'd end up on a jury, though, based on, like, the voir dire process, because, like, some cases are, like, entirely dependent on, like, cop testimony, and usually for, like, voir dire, and that's, like, jury selection, that's the jury selection process, like, if it involves something like that, one of the counsels, the lawyer, either the prosecutor or the defendant, will ask you along the lines of something like, do you trust police testimony? And I'd probably say something along the lines of, and I'd be honest, I'm not gonna lie, my honest answer to do you trust police testimony is, I trust police testimony as much as I trust anyone else's testimony. It would help if it's backed up by evidence, but it's just an anecdote, and I don't think I'd get chosen for that reason. His right to travel, does he mean his right to travel in the building? Yeah. They think the right to travel means they can do literally whatever they want and go wherever they want.
And look!
Who are you?
Federico, Judge Federico.
Judge Federico.
Yeah.
What's your name?
You don't remember me? I'm Joshua Martinez.
No, but hey, I see I got a report.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You should just lie? Why would I lie? I mean, I don't want to lie. I'm not gonna lie during jury selection.
Yeah, you threatened me with contempt for asking constitutional questions in court. 25
oh,
days.
You're one of those constitutionalists. Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
You're not. You're not a constitutionalist.
You gotta address good when you go in here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did last time.
Dr. Gamble says, world. I gave you a donation. Did I miss something? Oh, 15 from Dr. Gamble. Thank you. I'm sorry, I missed that. I will now read from the dictionary. Hold on, I gotta find this so I can read it in full. I will now read from the dictionary. legerity, noun, physical or mental quickness, nimbleness, agility. The legarity of Hannah and her friend Jake is quite impressive. Thank you. So we can commit jury nullification? Oh, God. I understand jury nullification, and I think it can be a useful thing, but I also see the danger in doing so, right? Like, imagine if you had a case where someone, let's say jury nullification became the norm, and people came to understand that their right as a juror basically gives them the free will, the freedom to say guilty or not guilty, basically for any reason, even if you don't necessarily agree with the evidence or whatever. Even if you see the evidence and you don't. Like, imagine you wind up on a trial where, like, someone gets picked up and they're innocent, but they're, like, a minority. And then you get a jury that's full of racist a-holes, and they do basically jury nullification, but, like, in such a way as to lock him up anyway. And I guess you could argue that probably happens anyway. I'm sure it does, but I don't know. The more people understand the idea of jury nullification, the more dangerous the concept becomes. But nonetheless, it is part of the system, so, you know. It is what it is.
The judge that threatened me with contempt. He calls me, oh, you're one of those...
If someone got, like, caught for some weed thing, though, I'd be voting not guilty no matter what. What a waste of everyone's time.
Those constitutionalists, and he's not.
Not gonna happen now, though, because it's legal in Michigan, but...
Whenever you preach this, whenever you back this up, or back your arguments up with this, look how they treat you. They make fun of you. It's actually a bad thing to be an American today. It's a bad thing to be an American today in this justice system.
I mean, I don't disagree, but probably for entirely different reasons.
I'll keep you guys posted. I'll keep you guys updated. And we'll go from there.
Crystal Cat says, I was on a jury and I had to vote guilty on someone for possession of weed. I felt bad, but I had to vote with the law. Well, technically, and I'm not disagreeing with what you did. I mean, that's fine. But, like, there is the thing of jury nullification. You can just say not guilty. What are they gonna do, you know? They can't be like, well, you have to vote guilty. I don't know. Okay, Wheel of Entitlement. What's next? Oh god, more Sovereign Citizen. Okay, the next one's this guy again. And he's in a more controlled environment, so hopefully the camera and everything will be better.
Do a quick update on what happened to me at the federal courthouse. I am under pretrial release services for a disorderly conduct charge. The correct charge, or the correct name of it, is creating a disturbance. So I'll kind of touch up on what went down when I was at the courthouse. So I went Monday to attend a trial. It was an open public trial for a gentleman named Omar Kazi. Omar Kazi has been in prison or in jail for 4 years, and he just now recently got a trial, got his day in court. So it was very important to me. So I went there for voir dire as jury selection. I attempted to go in to the court building. They stopped me at the metal detectors, and at the metal detectors they said that there was a trespass order. Well, I objected to it and told them.
Dr. Gamble with 50 bits. One of my favorite movies is 12 Angry Men with Henry Fonda. I love the fact that they never tell you if the kid was guilty or not of the crime. I agree. It's a great movie. Although bad if you want to know what being on a jury is like. Because, like, they do stuff that you're really not supposed to do. Like, there's the scene where he's like, I went for a walk last night, and I went and bought this knife. And it's the same knife from the trial. And, the whole trial, like, they'd have to have a retrial the second he says that. Like, the jury is not allowed to go and investigate their own stuff. That's not how it works.
Funny about the tools of capitalism.
How's the soup? It's delicious, and so are the dumplings. Thank you so much.
There was no trespass order. I was never trespassed from the property. As a matter of fact, when they tried to trespass me, a magistrate from city courts, the lower courts, dismissed the charge based on lack of jurisdiction, and lack of evidence.
It's hot though.
The city had no authority to send their local police to tell me that I couldn't go into a public building. It's a federal issue.
The guy he's standing is in prison for a weapons charge. Let's take a look. Felon sentenced to over 6 years in prison for unlawful possession of a firearm, Las Vegas, Nevada. A felon who was convicted of unlawful possession of a firearm that was discovered during a traffic stop was sentenced to 75 months in prison, announced U.S. Attorney Dale Ellison for the District of Nevada. In August, a jury convicted Omar Qazi? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I don't normally see Q's without a U after them. Of Las Vegas, a felon in possession of the firearm. In addition to this prison term, U.S. District Attorney Andrew P. Gordon sentenced Qazi to 3 years of supervised release. According to court documents and evidence presented during the 3-day trial, a Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department officer stopped Qazi for a traffic violation near East Harmon Avenue and Covell Lane. During the search of his vehicle, the officer found a loaded Smith & Wesson .22 caliber revolver, methamphetamine, and marijuana. Qazi, who represented himself, has a prior felony conviction in Nevada for battery with substantial bodily harm, and he is prohibited from possessing a firearm. As a pro se defendant, oh, that'll do it. Qazi filed over 100 motions before the case was brought to trial. Yikes. The case was investigated by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives and the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. Assistant U.S. Attorney Alexandra Michael and Patrick Burns prosecuted the case. This case was brought as part of the Project Safe Neighborhoods, a nationwide program by the Department of Justice that has been historically successful in bringing together all levels of law enforcement to reduce violent crime and make our neighborhoods safer for everyone. Yeah, sure. Okay, we can talk about that. That's a discussion for another day. The department has made turning the tide of rising violent crime in America a top priority. In October 2017, as part of a series of actions to address this crime trend, the department announced the reinvigoration of PSN. For more information about PSN, it's a .gov link.
Issue. So the federal government couldn't provide any reason for me stating that I couldn't go into, stating that I couldn't go into the building. So I objected to it. They roughed me up, dragged me outside, said you're not allowed in. They complained. I objected. I had some injuries to my back. DHS officers get there. They confirm, and they side with me and say no, he is allowed in. He has every right to be here. So they, Department of Homeland Security, you guys can check out that video. Acts as a buffer between U.S. Marshals and I.
Leap a little sheepy with 40 bits. Am I weird for liking the sound of you eating soup? It's like an ASMR mukbang,
there's no problem.
But with Karens and sovereign citizens in the background.
Went back inside, went upstairs, couldn't stay. I felt a lot of pain in my back. Once the adrenaline wore off, went to the hospital to get checked out. Rested Tuesday, came back Wednesday. Wednesday, same problem. There was new faces, but it was the same issue. They claimed that I didn't have a right to be in the federal courthouse. I told them, guys, look, it's been taken care of on Monday. Everything was squared away. I have every right to be here. They disagreed with me and said, no, your trespass has been reinstated. I said, guys, there was no trespass there's no trespass ever existed. So how can a trespass...
Sarah posted about a new quartering video. What, on Twitter? So he has a new video. Quartering says, John Boyega absolutely destroyed fake Disney diversity in direction of the latest Star Wars franchise today. Sarah says they literally only care because John calls out faux inclusivity, but they don't care about it being corporate or false. Jeremy's solution isn't more diversity, it's less. Also, he doesn't even say anything about Ryan. Weird that no one ever throws JJ on that pyre. Yeah. Pretty much agree. It's always, like, face-palming whenever Jeremy tries to be like, see, I defend John Boyega. No, you don't. No, you don't. You just think that it's funny to have him fighting against Disney because you don't like diversity. You don't want genuine diversity. You want no diversity.
That never existed be reinstated. They went hands-on again that day, threw me in cuffs, said you're under arrest for criminal trespass. They take me to the jail downstairs, they put me in the holding facility, transport me to Pahrump, Nevada, which is about an hour and a half away north of, well, first they take me to the hospital via ambulance. Yeah, I sustained more injuries then. Once I get out of the hospital, they take x-rays, give me medication, they give me the all clear, send me over to the prison. They send me over to CCA in Pahrump. Still, at this point, I have no formal charges. Following day, still no charges. Then the next day, they finally filed charges on me, and the charge was not trespass, it was just...
I find that a little hard to believe. I think you're only supposed to hold someone for 24 hours without charging them.
Disorderly conduct. So they said, you're not allowed in. We're going to give you a problem. They created the problem. They created the disruption, the disturbance, and then they blamed it on me. So I'm on pretrial release services for that. But let me get something here I wanted to show y'all. Sorry. Should have had it in my hand. But part of the conditions is this breathalyzer test. I have to take this. It has a little camera on it. The camera says, or the camera is so that they can make sure it's me submitting the breathalyzer test. I don't drink. I don't like alcohol, but they still added this on the pre-trial release conditions. So I have to blow into this machine, send them a picture, and it records the data. It gets sent over to the federal government, my officer, who then stores it in the database. Another part of the condition is I have to, once I get to the federal building, because that's where pretrial services is, I go in, I have to be escorted from the front to the pretrial services office, from the pretrial services office back to the door. Now, another condition that even my officer, the supervising officer...
Why is his flag backwards? I don't know. Because, like, there are times where the flag is displayed like that. For instance, if you look at patches on, excuse me, if you look at patches on a lot of military uniforms, they'll be displayed like that, specifically because it's supposed to simulate running towards something with a flag, so it's going to flap, you know, backwards like that. At least that's the origin of it. But I don't know what he's trying to get across here with the backwards flag.
And I thought it was odd, and a few people
video
thought it was
could just
odd,
be mirrored. True.
I cannot enter the building with my cell phone or any recording device. I advised I alerted to the officer that, hey, I'm on my way down, but I need my cell phone because I will be driving with Uber. I do use Uber sometimes, so I need my phone to order the ride. He says, well, I don't think it'll be a problem. I'll give them a call and see. Well, he got back to me and said, no, they don't want you in the building with your cell phone at all, with any recording device. Now, we are in the time of tyranny. We are in the time you're seeing more First Amendment auditors, you're seeing Second Amendment auditors, Fifth Amendment, Sixth Amendment auditors. When are we going to realize that our nation is morally and spiritually bankrupt? When your government...
Dude, I'm not going to disagree with you on that one. I get what you're saying. America has a ton of problems. Absolutely. You not being allowed to record in a courtroom isn't necessarily one of them. Would it be okay for people to record in courtrooms? Probably. A lot of places do allow that. But at the same time, it's to help the anonymity of, like, jurors and, people who are testifying, stuff like that. But it's kind of an outdated rule. I get that. It would probably make sense to change it, but It is what it is for now. Things change very slowly, typically.
Fears its own people of entering the building with recording devices, you have to ask yourself, what are they trying to hide? What is their true intent? I mean, we all know, you know, anyone who's an adult who's seen movies or has read stories about criminals and how they conduct their crimes, they want to hide all the evidence. They start unplugging phones, they start covering up cameras so that their crimes cannot be caught on tape.
Okay, but a lot of courts are courts of record. Courts have, you know, a stenographer. You've seen that in the movies. It would be a pretty big oversight from these courts. If they're like, oh, we're gonna commit a bunch of crimes, we need to get rid of all the cameras, which they don't even do. A lot of courtrooms have cameras nowadays where they film everything. And you can usually, like, Freedom of Information Act, get those records if you really want them. But they have court stenographers that take records of everything that's being said in the courtroom. I don't think a criminal enterprise would do that.
Our government is working the same way. Everything is a secret from us. We are the ones who created them. We established government. Their powers, their just rights derive from the consent of the governed. We, the people.
Yes. And the fact that people have not overthrown the government is implicit consent, right? That's how it works. If the consent of the people were no longer something that, like, the government had, A, people would try and vote out everyone first. And B, if that didn't work or something was happening where, like, there were elections that were suspended or something, then people would probably, not necessarily, though, rise up and take that government out of power, right? That's what happens a lot of the time. Like, the consent of the governed does not mean literally every single citizen needs to agree with everything that happens in the country. If that were the case, there would be no functioning government. Because the only way, if a room full of people can agree on every single thing, is if there's one person in the room. People aren't all going to agree on something, but you come to a general consensus based on majority opinion most of the time. So the fact that the United States government is the government and hasn't been overthrown is implicit consent. Like, I know that's not the answer people like this want, but that's the answer. If you really, really think the government is so corrupt that no amount of, like, voting or anything will fix it, then I guess your, like, next move is to go 1776 on it, but I don't think that's going to go well for you, because they have the military. So, I don't know. Very, very weird.
We created them. Okay? The creation cannot be greater than the creator. So, if we are in this time where the government can punish you for recording them, we are at the level of tyranny, guys. We are at full-on tyranny. I can't believe that, they wouldn't even let me leave my cell phone at the front door. I offered to give my cell phone over to the officer just so I can be able to get a ride back home. They said no. Even if you surrender it to us, we're not going to accept that. We want to make it hard. We want our thumb pressed down on you because you are our subject. You have no rights. You have privileges. We, the government, have rights. You are just our subject.
You have rights, but your right is not necessarily to bring a phone into a courthouse. That's not a right. That's not in the Constitution.
It's the other way around, guys. It's flipped from what our founders truly intended a republic to be. In a republic, the person, the individual, doesn't exist for the country. The country exists for the protection of the individual and the individual's private property. I have a right to be secure in my person, houses, papers, and effects.
Right.
My person, my body, which is my property. My house is my property. Papers, more of my property. My cell phone affects more.
Right, but you could still have them say, no, we're not going to let you bring this into a courtroom. That's not being secure in your effects. It's them saying, this is a public courtroom. We've ruled that we are not going to allow outside recording. You cannot bring that in. please go put your phone somewhere if you'd brought a car with you. And I understand not everyone has a car, so this is an issue. I totally understand that. They should probably have something like, if you have a cell phone or something, they should probably, especially if you're a juror or if you're going to trial that day, let's say you come in on a bus or a cab or an Uber, whatever, they should have lockers that you can go and put your stuff in, and then once you put them in there, you can go on to the courtroom. I understand that. I get that. But it doesn't change the fact that the government still has the right to tell you you can't bring your phone into the courthouse.
More property. My rights derive from property. And in order for you to take my property from me, you have to give me due process of law. And this pretrial release is not due process of law. I still have not been found guilty. They're giving me drug tests. They're making me blow into a machine. Some people just aren't getting it. They think that when we go out and we record...
It's because you're still technically detained, right? Hold on. Sorry for the mouth noises. I know it's gross.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Antipodian Squid with 10 bits. Not allowing photography in certain museums and art galleries is totally tyranny, guys. So, when you're out for pre-trial release, if you've posted, like, bail, or even if, like, they don't give you bail, but they're just like, you can go until the time for your trial, they could put you in jail, right? But they're saying to you, in exchange for allowing you to go home today and await your actual trial, or whatever, your hearing, whatever it happens to be, we're going to put some conditions on you. These conditions can vary widely depending on what you're being charged with. It's going to be more severe if it's something, you know, like a violent crime than it is if you just did something like, I don't know, you stole something from the store and you're awaiting trial or whatever. But nonetheless, because they're allowing you out, they're allowed to put certain restrictions on you. I do find the breathalyzer strange for this guy, considering as far as I know his crime had nothing to do with, like, alcohol. I understand, like, if someone's, like, out on bail before they have a hearing for, like, a DUI or something, I'd understand if under that case they had them do the breathalyzer, but it's strange to me that they're having him do a breathalyzer. I don't think his crime had anything to do with, like, driving under the influence. I could be wrong, though.
The agents that these lawmakers send out, or that the government sends out, they think we're trying to antagonize them. They think we're trying to just stir up trouble because we're bothering them. No, we're trying to remind them that we the people preserve the spirit of resistance. And yes, damn right, they should fear us. Because great men once said that when the government fears the people, there's liberty. But when the people fear the government, there's tyranny. At what point do you have to realize, at what point will you realize that we're in a tyrannical society, we're in a tyrannical ran government, before you decide to do something? How much more? How bad do things have to get before you get up and do something?
Worse than not being allowed to bring a cell phone into court.
There's room for more First Amendment auditors, guys. Support your local activists who's getting out there and doing these things. I'm not out there just trying to rattle the cage just because I'm bored.
It seems like you kind of are, though. Seems kind of like you are.
I truly have a love for my country and the God-given rights that I possess, and that the U.S. Constitution clarifies.
There's nothing funny
We
about
may
the
lose
tools
these
of
rights soon.
capitalism.
They're coming after our guns.
They're coming after our guns. Was it tyranny when Obama took all our guns away? Oh yes, I remember. The sweeping Obama gun removal. That's why we have no more shootings. That would have been nice. Honestly, I don't think Republicans could hate Obama anymore. Like, if he was just like, and again, I've talked about this recently, I get it, I'm not against all ownership of guns. If you want to have, like, a rifle for hunting or whatever, I get it. Or some, like, handgun for protection,
That's
but,
right,
like,
capitalistic propaganda.
certain guns and certain ways of putting things on your guns that allow you to shoot really, really rapidly and lots of rounds are super unnecessary.
After our phones, they're coming after our recording devices. This isn't fair.
Hariso
that I be
Haros, thank
punished.
you for following. They're coming after our phones. How would the NSA listen to all of our calls and collect all of our metadata if they took our phones? That doesn't even make sense.
For constitutionally protected conduct. I have a
Jeremy
right
thinks
to
he's
record.
helping Markiplier. Hold on, what's Jeremy doing? Let's see. Fair is fair. Team YouTube, where's my strike? Markiplier also made a video laughing about the same fake road rage incident. When will he be getting a strike? There it is. So Markiplier got a strike. To be absolutely clear, I don't blame the moistest man on the internet, most critical at all for this. Fair is fair, and this is the game that Team YouTube wants to play. I've got my SpongeBob costume on, and I'm ready to throw hands. Not that you need my help. YouTube issued a strike for reacting to a fake fight of cartoon mascots to most critical and upheld it. Then Markiplier stood up for him, and instead of correcting it, they struck him too. No one wants your help, pal, and you're not helping. Yeah, no one wants Jeremy's help. Jeremy's a douche. Jeremy's an awful person. And no one wants his support.
They want to intimidate us into complying because they know people who are intimidated are less likely to be politically active. A lot of you folks, if you go back and look at some of my my videos that I uploaded, there's one 8-second video where the security rips the phone out of my hands.
Just before we get...
He rips the phone out of my hands. And it's right there. The supervisor was standing right there. But I pressed lock before he can get on there and erase it, because he did look at it to try to erase it. He was going to try to erase the footage.
Look, I'm not saying that a cop wouldn't do that if they had the chance. I don't trust cops, and they're kind of scumbags, so I get it. But it's quite a leap to say that the cop was definitely going to erase the footage you filmed of them. You don't necessarily have evidence of that.
So the reason why I do these things, the reason why I go to the courts and I stand up to the magistrates and to the judges and to the cops, is because a lot of men died for the U.S. Constitution before it was ratified. Joseph Warren, Dr. Joseph Warren, died in 1775, when the Constitution was just an idea then. And men before that died, when it wasn't on paper. They didn't get to hear the beautiful words put together. They didn't get to hear the Bill of Rights and the U.S. Constitution and the Declaration of Independence.
Does this dude know the Constitution wasn't written until like 1788 or something like that? 1789? We had the Articles of Confederation first, and it didn't work out very well. Just the way you said 1775 makes me think he thinks it happened in 1776, like he's confusing the Declaration of Independence with the Constitution.
It's all in one document. They didn't get to live to see that, but they knew it was there. They knew what they had. They had God-given rights. They knew it was there. It was just a matter of time before our founders diagnosed it. These are things we possess, and it's your job to protect those rights. You think I have free speech just because the First Amendment says I do? No, I have free speech because nobody's big and bad enough to come and take it from me. And if they do,
I am very badass.
I'm not going to give it up without a fight. I'm going to object to it. I'm going to protest. They're going to have to put me in handcuffs like they did at the courthouse.
I hate the idea of God-given rights, by the way. I hate it so much. Like, I agree that there are certain things that we agree on that are rights, that are human rights, that everyone should be afforded. But the only thing that makes something a right is that enough people agree to it that they can back that up, right? There's no such thing as your rights in the ether, divorced from human conception. Rights are things we all agree on as societies. It's why in some societies people don't have rights. It's not just that they're being denied something that's out there that everyone, like, intrinsically knows is something they deserve. It's something that as a society we get together and form We understand these things, and I agree that there are a lot of rights that we can agree on mutually as a global society because human beings have very similar brains, and we're going to sort of come to similar conclusions. I think we all think that, like, freedom is a great right. You have a right to be free. But that has meant many different things to many different people in society. The very founding fathers that wrote the Constitution owned slaves. So even though they were fighting for their own liberty, and the liberty of, like, white landowning men, they didn't extend that right to others. So even though I would argue those people should have had rights, they didn't. You know why they didn't? Because the people around them who had the power didn't agree. And that's how rights work. Your rights are basically what enough people with power agree they are. There is no intrinsic right to anything. It's all stuff we agree on. They're all social concepts.
Wherever my 2 feet happen to be is a First Amendment zone. And if you're wearing a badge, you took the oath. I didn't. You work for me. So...
Cops work for society. Again, ideally. I don't think cops really do, but... Cops are supposed to work for society, not you, the individual.
Yeah, guys, I'm in Las Vegas. Sorry I'm not looking at the comments. It's kind of far away and kind of hard to see. Yeah, I'm in Las Vegas. It was at the Lloyd D. George courthouse, and that's where a lot of the tyrants are. They didn't even put my court date on the docket so my friends and loved ones can see and attend. They were hiding the time I was supposed to be at court. I mean, that goes to tell you guys. I mean, I appreciate all the calls. I mean, Gavin Syme, my friend, I love him. He put a call out, and when I was in the holding tank, I heard those phones going off, and people were demanding my release. They finally realized, you know what? This guy has friends who love him and care about him. We're going to have to do something. So it goes to show, when one man can speak and call out the wrongs that they do, and it gets them it just triggers them. It just pisses them off.
The delusions of grandeur with these people are astounding.
When one man can do that, and they act like complete tyrants. And I'm talking tyrants like from Old English days. I mean, Star Chambers. Come on, they're bringing back Star Chambers. My friends didn't know what time I had court. My friends had to guess what courtroom I was in. And the only way they were able to know was because the amount of marshals that were standing outside the courtroom. I had 10 U.S. Marshals in my courtroom because I'm such a bad sovereign citizen, they say.
Yeah, sovereign citizens are real bad.
He doesn't want to get his driver's license. He doesn't believe in concealed weapons permits. He doesn't believe, he believes in recording us and exposing what we do. And he talks about this Constitution like it matters to us. That's what they're doing. That's the behavior. And you know what? When they start acting like that, you have to start questioning your government's intent. I've been abused many of times. I've been accused many of times. There's nothing they can do to shut me up.
Of capitalism.
Damn it, I'm going to stand my ground and say, no, I will not comply. So I wanted to thank James Freeman. James Freeman messaged me earlier and said, hurry up on YouTube and give an update. He was going to talk about... Hey guys, back on. Sorry about that. I don't know what the heck's going on with this Wi-Fi. It was working fine when I do live streams for Facebook.
Okay, that's enough. We're done with this guy. Okay, let's find a different sovereign citizen. This one's in court. Cleanse. Let me see what we have for cleanse.
My name's Andy. I live with Preston, and he's what you call an incel, I think.
You probably don't even have sex. You've probably never been laid. You probably have sex with fake vaginas that you have to microwave so that they get to the internal temperature of a human body so that when you have sex with them, it feels real. Idiot.
He mostly just plays games.
Stop! 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 Wait, are you a girl? Do you want to, can you add me? Can you add? No, I'm not gonna kill you. Can you add me? Fucking bitch!
Goes on his computer.
Dubs. Okay. Patrick Pepe. Alright, saving that. Epic.
We try to coach him and give him some advice, but he kind of just does his thing and f***s everything up.
I hope you like alpha guys, because I don't f***ing give a shit about f***, and I'm here to f***. What did you say, Andy? The app keeps glitching, and every time I talk to them, it, like, the girl disappears. When do we have sex, bitch? I'm trying to act alpha.
Yeah, I think he's just a straight up sexist.
If there's a girl on our team, just kill her off, because she's just gonna be dead weight. And yeah, extra pineapples. Also, can you make sure it's a male driver? Oh no, I just need to make sure they're competent at their job. Also, it's a legal thing. I'm not really supposed to have women on my property.
A lot of weird sex stuff.
What the Preston, what the f is this thing?
I'm so upset about the microwave on top of the fridge. Who puts their microwave on top of their fridge? This is psychotic behavior, and this person should be put on a list.
Does it feel warm?
I don't know. Do you f this thing?
I make love to it. Does
Dude.
it feel like it's 98 degrees?
I don't know what, no.
Does the internal temperature seem to be 98 degrees?
No.
Does it feel like a human?
Living with him's been pretty tough. He gets really angry out of nowhere. He kind of has like these like outbursts.
Hello, my name is Preston, and I know how to give cunnilingus for 14 hours and give you the ultimate pleasure. And I think I actually love you. Unmatched? F***ing whore! All those girls are whores! That's why I don't like women these days. They don't respect gentlemen. They don't know a good guy when they see one.
Yeah, I was really stoked for Preston the other day. I heard him getting laid in his room, but I think it was just Siri.
Harder, me harder, yes, harder, me my tiny ass, go keep don't stop, know you, so yes.
What are you doing?
What are you doing in here? God f*** out!
Another thing that happened, I brought a girl over. He came into my room with like 3 guns. He was like showing them off. He was showing his guns off to the girl that I brought over.
This one looks like me.
I can ignore sexism, but pineapple on pizza, you're scum.
Respect me. Yeah, I think that people will respect me if I have that.
He calls himself a sex addict, but I don't think he's ever had sex once.
They have a girl who likes guns?
Welcome back to Guns.com. My name is Taylor. And today
What's her
I'm
at?
going to bring something really special to you, which is going to...
Okay, Daddy's got to do a little research.
I don't feel safe living in this house.
You don't even have that gun in real life. Someone here does. He's registered. Am I a registered sex offender? No, my gun is registered. F*** you!
I literally can't even have sex in my own home anymore.
Oh my god, dude. Yes?
There's nothing funny about the
Hey.
tools of capitalism.
What do you want?
I was just wondering if
Daddy Sume says, I suddenly regret being a daddy. You dare make me feel shame?
you could, can you check your bitch?
Are you serious?
Can you keep your bitch in check?
Excuse
She's
you?
being really loud.
This
is my house too.
I get that.
Can I hang out?
No, why the
Hi, I'm Preston.
Why the f do you want to come in here?
I was just kidding.
That's not a good joke, Preston.
Check your bitch.
That guy's funny. He does good, like, incel parody stuff. Oh, I think I've done this one before. He refuses to take a seat at the defendant table. one's the living man.
No, ma'am. I stand as myself and speak for myself in myself. And I am not the trustee over the all caps name that you're operating on.
But you're here in court today because you were charged with some charges.
I'm here in court today because I am making a special visitation. This is not an appearance, only spirits appear. Living men, living persons make special visitation. That's why I'm here, to make sure that you guys don't tander my truthful, proper names.
Do you still live at 28 Flying Eagle in Manhattan?
That is a storage unit that I sleep in from time to time.
All right.
This is too quiet. I want to listen to it, but it's so quiet. Does it get louder later?
457-302. You were also charged on the same date with resisting arrest in violation of 457-301 of the Montana Code.
Those men were because I am
I can't listen to this one. It's way too quiet.
Everything's changed.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Oh dear, he's homeless. I suddenly do not feel good about laughing at him. For the record, we've seen videos later where he doesn't appear homeless. It looks like he has a cabin or something. So that may have been a lie he was telling in court about the storage unit.
And about getting your stuff, you have to arrange it with the landlord.
Yes, but that's my thing. You can't just... It's unlawful eviction, and you can't just lock someone out when I went to the store.
There's a proper way to go about an eviction.
So these people have been evicted or something?
Somebody, and this is not proper.
I was here all day waiting for the sheriff to come, because the sheriff is supposed to be the one that issues
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
The sheriff only does it when it's foreclosures and bank owned.
Dr. Gamble. Sounds like a 50s horror movie title. He was once dead, but now no more. Thanks to the dangerous, God-defiling science, he is now the living man.
This is done by the municipal police, and that officer that you saw, badge number 4, I believe it is, from the sheriff's.
And this is done by the municipal police. So as far as the municipal police, where do they get their delegation of authority from?
They follow the Attorney General and the prosecutor's office.
Okay, so for the Attorney General, I've
Jack Sear, thanks for following. Welcome to the stream.
Okay, so... First of all, okay, so you get it from the Attorney General. The only branch of government that can give delegation of authority is Congress.
No, untrue.
So that's not a lawful delegation of authority.
Unfortunately, they have the notices, the paperwork that I follow, and the doors are locked, so we can't help you get back in there.
Yes, but it's an unlawful eviction.
And then you can go to court and fight that, but as of right now, we can't let you in.
Okay, but as for my things that are being unlawfully held...
They are safe and secure, and you have to
No, they're not safe and secure.
Okay.
No.
And then it's even as far as the landlord goes. Like I said, first of all, I'm not even supposed to be dealing with...
Oh, the editing in this one is annoying.
No one is there. And as far as the quote-unquote landlord...
Is there a reason why you...
Or the the sharecropper...
You have a problem?
He has yet... He won't answer
You seem like you do. Why are you staring at me so...
I'm not having luck with very good videos
Three
today.
cars, y'all. 3 cars, and I'm still waiting on the supervisor for... He said I ran the light when I know I didn't run a light, and he said I'm using my phone. Man, this is my bike, my body, my phone. I got a right to roll through these streets as long as I'm not hurting nobody, infringing upon nobody's rights. You understand me? Not disrespect.
Well, get a sheriff down here or get the chief. You gonna get a who? You gonna get
the posted speed limit rather than moving to the shoulder in an attempt to come to a complete stop. Any reason you did not do so? Sir, I need your attention.
Yes, sir.
I understand you're trying to get the perfect angle for the camera, but,
Sorry.
I am having a conversation with you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Can you explain to me why you did not move to the right and move off the roadway as far as possible and come to a complete stop?
Well, first of all, I had to be sure that you were pulling me over. I didn't know you were pulling me
That's
over.
not how that works. Anytime you see his lights are behind you, you are required to yield by moving as far as possible off the road in an attempt to come to a complete stop. It has nothing to do with making sure.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just trying to be as safe as possible. I wasn't sure if I was going to go to the left side of the road or the right side of the road or what.
I understand. The other thing is your following distance behind that vehicle. I was able to see that you were within a second of that vehicle. You were following that little white car.
Yes.
Okay. You were within a second.
Okay.
Okay. The industry accepted standard for the human reaction time is a second and a half. You're giving yourself less than a second. Any reason you're not giving yourself more time to react?
I felt I was completely safe. I was totally. I was the same distance between that car and the next car in front of them.
Okay, well, I'm not focused on them. I'm focused on you. And actually, that's not true because there was a very large chunk of time there was hardly anybody in front of them. It was a significant distance. Yours was extremely noticeable. It wasn't reasonable. It wasn't prudent. So I need to see your driver's license, proof of insurance, and your vehicle registration.
Okay, officer, for the record, can I have your badge ID and name number, please? Name and badge ID number.
I need to see your driver's license, proof of insurance, and your vehicle registration.
Are you refusing to identify yourself?
I am not. My name is Trooper Brandon Johansson. My badge number is 554. Now I'd like to see your information.
Okay. And is there a video? Are you videotaping the?
I explained to you already. You're being video and audio recorded. I'd like to see your driver's license, proof of insurance, and your vehicle registration.
Do you have a warrant naming me as the?
Okay, are you refusing to cooperate with me at this time?
No, sir. I'm just trying to create a record.
I do not have a warrant. This is a traffic stop.
Okay.
I am requesting your information.
Damn, this cop has no patience. Again, I get it. Sovereign citizens are douches. I totes get it. But my goodness, cops, it is your job to deal with the population, and unfortunately, a lot of people in the United States are stupid, or a-holes, or both. You gotta learn to deal with it without being a dick and just bringing every situation dialed up to 11. Calm down, count to 10, and discuss this with this idiot like a human being. I get it. Sovereign citizens are ridiculous, but you are not making yourself look any better by being an asshole, right? You don't, like, confront people acting like children by also acting like a child. It's not helping. You're just escalating the situation, and you don't have to do that.
You are required by law to provide me with your name and your date of birth.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
and if you don't want to provide your insurance information or your registration, I can certainly handle that. Are you refusing to provide your information to me at this time?
No, sir. I just need to create a record for the court.
That's fine.
Okay.
You got a
I'm
record.
gonna pull my record out and take some notes here real quick.
Okay. Okay. At this point, are you stalling? Are you preventing me from my investigation?
No, sir. Not at all.
Okay.
I'm just trying to
I like to
proceed
have your
my-
driver's license, proof of insurance, and your vehicle registration.
So we already got your name and number here.
Okay, what is your name, sir?
Sir, if I can just get the name and number again.
I'm asking you for your name. What's your name?
My name's Chris.
Okay.
And yours
Is your
was...
full name Chris or Christopher? I need your full name and your date.
Both. I'm called
I need your
Christopher,
full
I'm
name
called
and your
Chris,
date of.
I'm called everything.
I need your full name and your date of birth.
Okay.
What is your full name?
What facts are you alleging gave you probable cause to stop me and
Why
accost
do
me?
the captions say applause? They probably, the YouTube thing is automatic. It probably hears the sort of low roar of the traffic, and it's interpreting it as applause for some reason.
What facts are you alleging gave you probable cause to stop and accost
At
me?
this point, I need to know what your full name and your date of birth is.
Okay, and I
That's
need
a
no probable
requirement for this
cause.
traffic stop. Are you failing to identify yourself?
I told you, my name's Chris.
I need your full name.
I'm called by Chris. I'm
The
called by Christopher.
RCW, if you're going to go for statutory law, the statutory law requires you to provide me your full name and your date of birth.
Okay, so that's jurisdiction because I'm not driving.
We're not going to play this game, okay?
I'm not playing any games,
Are you,
sir.
are you going to identify
These are legal
me?
terms. These are legal terms.
Hang on a second.
Okay? So, what facts or information are you alleging gave you probable cause to stop and accost me, sir?
I need your name and your date of birth.
I just told you I'm called by the name of Chris.
I need your. Okay, so right now you're failing to obey
Well, I'm just
an
trying
officer.
to establish probable cause.
We've already established there's no probable cause for a traffic stop.
Okay, so then no probable cause.
That's not how that works. Okay, it's I observed you create a traffic violation. You committed a traffic violation. It's not about PC. It's a civil infraction. There is preponderance of the evidence that you committed a traffic infraction. It's beyond a PC. So if you're asking about that, I have more than just PC. Stop.
Okay, officer, for the record, I'm not operating it for higher capacity or transportation.
Are you
or
failing
other
to obey
commercial
a
use.
law enforcement officer?
Failing to what?
Are you going to identify yourself?
I just told you I'm called
I need
by
your
Chris
full name
or
and your date of
Christopher.
birth. Okay, go ahead and put your hands up on the steering wheel for me. Hands up on the steering wheel for me.
So what's going
Just
on?
put your hands up on the steering wheel for me.
What for? I'm trying to take some notes for the record.
I want you to put your hands up on the steering wheel for me right now.
What's going on?
Okay.
Yeah, so I need to see a supervisor here. I'm starting to feel a little uncomfortable.
Okay, I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you going to provide me with your full name and your date of birth?
Chris Haywood.
What's that? What's that?
Chris Haywood. I'm called by Christopher. Either one.
Okay, what is your middle initial?
A.
A?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is your date of birth?
Yes. Sir, here's the evidence, yes.
Okay, do you have any identification?
I'd like to speak to legal counsel first, sir.
Okay, do you have any identification
I do.
on you? This is a traffic stop.
Okay, that's fine. I need to speak to
Do you
legal
have any
counsel.
identification on you?
I
I need
do.
to be able to identify you.
Okay.
Okay. Otherwise,
just
I will
told you
provide
my
you with a
rights.
notice of infraction for no valid operator's license with ID.
Okay.
Or without ID. Okay. So it's up to you. I have to be able to confirm who you are. I need some visual information of who you are.
Okay. I just gave you my name and date of birth.
What's that?
I just gave you my name and date of birth.
So you're failing to provide me with some identification.
No, sir. In order to protect my rights or waive any accident,
Windchanter says, no heroes here. When will these cops learn that if they aren't dicks, then the community will often point them in the direction of the real problems? He keeps choosing not to de-escalate the situation. Yeah, cops are a-holes. So many of them just, like, cannot handle people not complying immediately. And I get it. Like, if a cop stops me, as much as I don't like cops, I'm gonna comply. Because I don't want, like, a cop to on a power trip to, like, freak out and do something or kill me or something. I just don't want to do it, you know? But, like, at the end of the day, the cops are supposed to be, like, government employees. They're supposed to work for the communities that they work in. And if people are being a jerk to you as a cop, you need to learn how to deal with that like an adult.
I just want to speak to legal counsel first.
Henry Adam Young, William Ocean, David Christopher, middle A Adam.
Can I please be advised I'm not operating for higher capacity or commercial
Do you have any
purposes?
identification on you at all?
I do.
Okay, would you provide that to me?
I need to speak to my legal counsel first. It's protected under my Fifth Amendment right, the right to remain silent and have...
Are there any weapons in the vehicle?
Are there any weapons in the vehicle?
Yes.
Do you have a search warrant?
No, I'm just asking. Are there any weapons in the vehicle? For my safety and for yours.
For my right to remain silent, Fifth Amendment, I'm going to reserve my right to remain silent.
Your Fifth Amendment doesn't cover traffic stops. Like, let me rephrase. If you're on a traffic stop, the cops are allowed to ask you for your information, like your name, your license, your registration, your insurance. All those things you are required to give. However, if a cop's like, are you carrying, I don't know, illegal drugs in this car, you might arguably be able to say, I plead the Fifth. That's gonna give them probable cause, though. So then they're gonna search your car and find him anyway. But my point is, like, there are things in traffic stops, or just stops in general, where cops are allowed to ask you things, and you have to answer. Your Fifth Amendment right does not cover identifying yourself to the police in many situations.
Stay inside the vehicle for me. That is an instruction. Stay inside the vehicle.
Sure, no problem.
Okay. All right, sir. So here's the deal. Your license is currently expired. Do you have any identification on you?
I'm not driving, and I choose.
You're not driving. You were driving the vehicle.
I'm traveling, sir. I'm not driving. There's a difference.
You're operating a motor vehicle, though, and the law specifies operating a motor vehicle.
I'm not. I'm traveling.
Regardless, I need to see some identification.
Sir, I'm going to invoke my Fifth Amendment constitutional rights and remain silent until I have my assistance of counsel.
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to answer any questions, but I'm asking for some identification.
Listen, I'm going to
You're failing to provide me with some photo identification.
I've done my duty. I've identified myself. I'm invoking my Fifth Amendment right, which is the protection of my documents.
That is true, and I'm not asking you any questions relevant to the investigation. Okay. That's what you have the right to invoke those for,
the
right?
traveling argument, yeah.
As well.
I guess I should bring it up. I feel like I repeat myself a lot in these videos, but that's because sovereign citizens only have, like, 5 or 6 things that they do. For those of you who don't know, who haven't watched my other sovereign citizen stuff, basically sovereign citizens believe they don't need to have a driver's license because they think that the legal definition of driver is driving for commercial purposes. They believe that if you're driving in a private capacity, like you're just driving from place to place, that means that you're not driving, you're traveling. You're traveling in your automobile, and that's different than driving. Of course, they're wrong. This is a misconception that comes out of the 2nd or 3rd edition of Black's Law Dictionary, which, by the way, Black's Law Dictionary isn't a collection of laws or anything. It's literally a dictionary of legal terms, and that specific edition defines traveling as being employed in operating a motor vehicle or carriage. Now, the problem is, even under this definition, driving in a private capacity is still being employed in driving. They take the term there, employed, to literally mean that you are being paid to do something. Whereas, of course, you can be employed in doing something and not have it have anything to do with, like, employment. These are different words. Like, right now, I'm employed in eating delicious soup, you know? Like, it's just a word. The word employed, as we use it today colloquially to mean, like, I work for someone, is not necessarily the same meaning as the Black's Law Dictionary that they're quoting from, like, the 1930s. And even then, there have been many editions of Black's Law Dictionary since then, and the definition is different. So even if Black's Law Dictionary were what the law was, which it isn't, it's just a dictionary of legal definitions, there have been editions since then that do not word it that way. So, obviously, they're picking and choosing specific things that they think make their arguments make sense, even though they don't.
That can be used against me in the court of law.
Understandable, and that's your interpretation of that. So again, stay inside the vehicle, do not exit.
Okay, sure.
Sir, do you have any ID on you at all?
I just said I'm exercising
I wasn't eating, I was shoveling nutritional dumplings into my jawline orifice. Yeah, basically.
I just want to let you know that you don't have a driver's license right now, and you were not providing me with your ID.
I'm not driving.
Okay. Go ahead and step out of the vehicle for me. Go ahead and unlock your door.
For what?
Go ahead and unlock your door.
For what?
Unlock your door now.
For what? What's going on? Hold, what are you doing? Okay, I'll get out. I'll get out.
Put your stuff away, then do it. Put your stuff away. You're currently under arrest for no valid operator's license without ID. You need to step out of the vehicle now.
I don't even know if Jake's streaming, because I'm going to end soon, and I didn't know if I was going to raid him or someone else. I don't know if anyone's heard from Jake on Twitter or anything.
Hey, keep your hands back up.
All right. I'm all right, guys.
Step out. Nice and slow.
Can I turn off the vehicle?
Just go ahead and step out. The vehicle's already in park. Go ahead and step out of the vehicle for me.
Okay, can I get my phone?
Nope, not right now. Go ahead and step out of the vehicle for me.
All right.
Okay. Oh, he's doing a debate. Oh, he's doing the debate later on, probably. Okay.
Relax
9:30. Gotcha.
Okay.
Maybe one... Do I want to do one more? No. It's 8 o'clock. I think I'm good. I've been kind of off all day. Sorry for the subpar stream, everyone. I've just been kind of... today. Everyone digitally hug Baja. She's going through kind of a tough thing right now. So, give her a digital hug. And I'll go give her a real hug when this is done. I'm just gonna end the stream. I don't need to raid anyone every time. So thanks, everyone. Check out Jake's debate later, I guess. Although it is with Modern Day Debates, who I am boycotting because I really, really don't like how they operate. So thanks, everyone, for coming to the stream. I really appreciate it. Tomorrow, I'm pretty sure I'll stream before D&D. We have Charisma Saves later on in the day. But prior to that, I'll probably do some sort of stream. Maybe not, though. Who knows? So just look out for it. I'll tweet about it if I decide to. So have a good night, everyone. Yeah, have a good night. Chat's valid.
There's nothing
Bye,
funny
everyone.
about
Oh,
the
thank you,
tools of
Antipodian
capitalism.
Squid, for 100 bits. Woo! Thanks.